Toxic ingredients is hiding in 90% of your cleaning supplies, and chances are you have no idea it's slowly affecting your family's health every single day. I'm here to give you a sneak peek of this Saturday's Whispers of Wellness episode, where our Sacred Kingdom experts break down exactly what you need to know. Shamanic guide Crystalite, herbalist Sarah Broadhead, organic product maker Jade, and her partner musician Evan Sturgeon will teach you how to read those confusing labels, identify the chemicals that are causing headaches, skin irritation, and worse. Plus, they're sharing their personal recipes for making truly clean products at home and revealing the best non-toxic swaps you can find right now. This isn't just another wellness podcast. This is your roadmap to protecting your family and cleaning up your home environment. Join us live this Saturday, December 27th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and Facebook, Sacred Kingdom. Your health can't wait.
Hello, grand day everybody, and thank you for joining us here on this first episode of the brand new series, Whispers of Wellness, Organic Home Living, where myself, Marcus Crystalite, along with other fellow Sacred Kingdom members of our worldwide community, we are going to be delivering to you guys wonderful knowledge and wisdom behind organic, clean home living. This is going to be talking about home hygiene products. It's going to be talking about your food ingredients. It's also going to be about the clothing that you're wearing every day, as well as the different ways that you can connect with nature and use different organic life living in your home, as well as the other areas of your daily life, not only for yourself, but for your children, for your family, and the communities of this world. So with that, we had our first episode last week, technically the introduction. So this is episode 1 of the series. And in introduction, you got to learn a little bit who these members are of the Sacred Kingdom that will be guiding you along this journey, as well as some of the topics that we're going to be touching on throughout the series as well as we continue along. So we're just going to take a quick recap to the last episode, the introduction, so you guys can see where we left off, and then we will continue. And in this episode, we're going to be touching deeply on the ingredients that you have in your everyday items. Not only will we be talking about the ingredients that you can find that talk to the body as well as environment as well, but we'll also be touching on different strategies and ways that you can swap over to organic and clean products, as well as create your own, and what kind of ingredients to look for on these labels. So let's go ahead and take that replay, and then we will continue forward.
Your cleaning products are slowly poisoning your family. Here's the truth they don't want you to know. I'm here to expose what's really lurking in your everyday household products.
Of Whispers of Wellness, the Organic Home Living podcast by the Sacred Kingdom. And it'll be from the Magical Dimensions.
Nice.
I've always loved this one. It's like so unique, the box style. It's kind of like a holographic look. And then it's pretty cool too. There is a cleansing portal inside of it.
To manifest something positive in your life. So just remember that your inner thoughts do matter. And the best way to correct that, because I myself was guilty of having a horrible inner dialogue. And I realized it And I was like, holy crap.
We got the community right here, the Sacred Kingdom. Myself, Shining Soul Sarah over there, the ones in the comments. I mean, we were doing some beautiful things, and I gotta say,
On this path for a very long time. My path and journey started basically around age 17. My father was a really cool macrobiotic, which is a vegetarian. And he had an alternative lifestyle and perspective on, philosophy.
when you really get into this holistic side of things, you really learn that like you're always a student and teacher, and there's just so much that Mother Nature has for us that
experience it all and go on an adventure instead of just running through the store, for example, and grabbing a Tylenol bottle. Wait, stop, pause, wait, what's that on the very top shelf over there? I see something that looks kind of weird and organic. What is that? Oh, look. For any parents out there, they have kid and infant Genexa. Instead of giving your kid Tylenol, please don't do that. The extra ingredients are no good. No
there
bueno.
you go. And then what do you have? You have a child that's even more nerve-ridden ever since they get prescribed these pharmaceuticals.
And let's take it a step simpler.
Because this is something that needs to be talked about publicly.
Mhm.
It's not the time to like continue sweeping things under the rug anymore. We've gone through two. First one was manifestation. Then the second card was magical realms. And we're probably gonna have an episode about this too. Propaganda and children marketing when it comes to food, especially like cereals, like stuff is just wow. Like talk about birth control, what that does to the body. Talking about, the plan B and like okay. Welcome,
Hello.
Sarah. Welcome, Jade and Evan.
All right.
Thank you guys for joining us today. So,
Yeah,
as we get started in this episode, absolutely, man. I'm so glad you're here. So, as we kick off this episode, let's take a moment and you guys kind of introduce yourselves a little bit, kind of let people know what it is that you do, what you offer, and why it is that you're here today to talk about this passion. Whoever would like to start.
I'm Jade, and I am the creator and owner of Jade's Wellness Trade. I offer soaps and products and homemade things. I'm ranging into like eye drops and stuff like that to help treat our bodies with plants instead of animal products, the way we were meant to, with herbs and spices and dirt.
My name's Evan Sturgeon. I'm actually a musician, but a lot of the music that I write is centered around making conscious decisions for our future and for our health and for our children and for our planet. And I'm also passionate about healthy living, and I like to think maybe I've helped Jade create some of her products and be inspired and developing some of what she's making in her business. And if you look behind us, we got an Instant Pot right there. I'm currently making some healthy food for us and the kids. If you're hearing this, that's what that is. It's angry back there. But yeah, I'm a musician, and my band's name is Sturgeon Friends. I have a solo project called Evan Sturgeon Music, and you can check that out on all the platforms. Working on some new stuff to release next year. And I try to use my platform to spread awareness about toxic things that we've been subjected to, and also what's going on in the real world, and maybe try and present some ideas or questions or something that can help us move in a forward direction instead of the backward way that we've been going for a long time now.
And I'm willing and able
Thank you too for
to
being here.
help everybody learn about all these chemicals and added products and stuff to our foods. It's very much is there, and it's very hidden, and we have to read the fine print.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona, and I am. Hi there, everyone. My name is Sarah. I think I was on mute a second ago. I live in Arizona. My name is Shining Soul Healing and Wellness, and I have been on this natural journey for a long time. I actually own a cleaning company, and I use all natural plant-based products in my services and in my home, and have for many years. And I have noticed a significant change in my health and all the things. So I'm here today to help spread the message of how important this type of thing is in everyday life. There's several different companies that I know of, besides these people here that are with me today, these lovely souls that make their beautiful products. If you're looking for other things that are commercially made, you can also go to places like melaleuca.com and things like that. So yeah, I'm really excited to talk about this topic today and share the information that I've learned so far.
Thank you guys all for being here. I'm really glad that you're with us today. And, this is going to be a very eye-opening episode. And I'm sure for many, it's going to be a little bit the process and also a little bit to really confirm the things that they may have heard of along their journey already. And welcome in Rhonda, my queen. Welcome in everybody else as well, the three that are in this live right now. Thank you guys for being here. If you guys haven't, please like, share, subscribe. Share this content for any community or family that you feel like could really use this educational knowledge today, and just open people up to the possibilities of cleaner ingredients in their everyday home life. Because you guys are going to find out as we go through this episode the kind of side effects that can come mentally, emotionally, and physically for our human being whenever we interact with these different harsh chemicals. And it's also not just ourselves as well. It's actually our pets, and it's also any other living consciousness that has a sentient life to it. I mean, even your plants, you want to be wise about what kind of chemicals you're even giving your plants as well. So with that, you guys can check out this little preview or ad, I should say, and then we'll be right back and we'll get started.
While others mass produce with chemicals and shortcuts, one stay-at-home mama chose a different path. Jade spends months researching each ingredient, carefully sifting everything at least twice, testing every single product on herself before offering it to anyone else. She hand cuts poster cards, captures every photo, adjusts recipes until they're perfect. 6 to 8 hours of love goes into each batch. This is Jade's Wellness Trade, where organic, plant-based products aren't just made, they're crafted with a mother's dedication. No animals harmed, no chemicals hidden, just pure, superior alternatives to what they're selling you in stores. Because the collective deserves better, and Jade's mission? To eventually teach you how to make these yourself. Visit jadeswellnesstrade.my.canva.site and discover what Mama Made really means.
Boom, look at that. Mama Made.
Yeah.
Sarah, I love your reaction every time you see that. You're like, Mama Made.
I know. Yeah, I resonate with that.
Melissa, welcome in. All right. So let's fire up some background music, get some vibes going, and let's start talking on some deep stuff of the rabbit hole, as we say, when it comes to ingredients within our home products. So to kick off, our first topic point is going to be about how to read labels for your products. So ingredients are listed in order of concentration. The first few ingredients make up the majority of the product. Shorter ingredient lists are generally better, especially when ingredients are recognizable as food, plants, or minerals. So number one, these are just a few things that you could look for to help open up this guideline of what we're about to talk about for this topic. And that is, avoid vague terms such as fragrance, perfume, natural, or propriety blend. So basically, like anything that isn't telling you the exact ingredient of what it is from and made from, then that is something to kind of be a little bit thinking about, because why are they not telling you, that is from the juice of an apple? Why are they not telling you where it's coming from? Instead, it's just a scientific term, or it just gives you a broad general term of what it could be, instead of directly telling you what it is, they indirectly tell you. So what do you guys have to say when it comes to labels and what to look for, and the kind of terminologies as well?
So rule of thumb that I live by is the shorter the ingredient list, the better it's going to be most of the time. When I started reading labels at the store, I realized that most of the stuff that we're being given is more of a science experiment than what we would call food. Because, I got this thing of cumin right here, and if you look on the back of it, it says the one ingredient is ground cumin. If you look on some other ones, it might say there's titanium dioxide in there, or as a what's it called, a firming agent. Those blanket terms right there, the firming agents or the preservative or something like that, often means we put this here because it's cheap and because it's going to make us more money in the long run because it's a filler. And that doesn't mean that it's healthy for you. It doesn't mean that it should be in your stomach or in your mouth. It means that they put it there because it makes them more money. And so I try and go with labels that I can read everything on, that I know exactly what is what, and that I can generally see. And so whenever it comes to, there's so much to touch on whenever it comes to labels, because they've done a really good job at using what we call blanket terms like natural flavors, stuff like that, to make it seem like it's healthy for you, when in reality, like natural flavor could mean they got a vanilla flavor from a beaver's butt. And that's true. It's something that happens. You can look it up. It's weird, but it's true. It comes from like a little sac inside their body, and it's a vanilla flavor, and it's natural, but that doesn't mean that it came from something that's actually good for you, So, a general rule of thumb that I try and go by is making sure that the ingredients list is short and that it has real ingredients in it. Things that are like, corn you can identify, wheat you can identify. If it says like modified in any way, shape, or form, or bleached, that could also mean modified. That's what it means. It means it was ran through bleach and you're going to eat that bleach. And so going with things that have been unaltered, that have been unmodified, that are completely in their natural form is a great rule of thumb in my own personal book to go by. I really love getting things that don't even have an ingredients list. It's like a bag of grapes is a bag of grapes, and they're organic and they were grown clean. And lentils are lentils, beans are beans, things that you can visually see that you can go at home and put together. and make your own stuff with. But if you don't have that kind of time, then if you're getting, like, let's say taco beans or something like that that's already pre-made in a can, I would be weary of the can because that has plastic in it, whether you know it or not. Could be made from aluminum, could contribute to heavy metal buildup in your system. There's even in aluminum in some ingredients and some of these things that they have on the shelves. It tells you straight up aluminum dioxide or whatever else. So avoiding any kind of heavy metals or anything like that is a great start, because those all contribute to a lot of neurological diseases that we see, like Alzheimer's, dementia, ADHD, ADD, you name it. They all build up in the brain, and they can all pass the blood-brain barrier and cause severe problems. So trying to get the metals out of the diet, trying to get the pesticides out of the diet, that's where the organic label comes in. A lot of people don't know that 95% of the food here in the United States is sprayed with Roundup or atrazine or paraquat or some sort of super toxic chemical that has its foundation in petrol. And they've also tied those to like non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, multiple different cancers, heart disease, lung disease, neurological disorders, you name it. Like, the list goes on as to what these things are causing. So the way to avoid those toxic chemicals is by choosing organic foods. Hey, chill. And non-GMO is kind of a big thing because it can make it look like it's a healthier option, but unless it comes with that organic label, it's just as toxic, if not more toxic than some other things. Because what happens is it could be grown as a non-Roundup ready seed from the beginning, right? Like wheat, for instance. But at the end of its life cycle, in order to dry it out quicker and to get it off the land quicker so they can plant more and get another round in, they'll go in, they'll spray it with Roundup or some sort of pesticide that acts as a desiccant, which means it dries out the plant quicker. It kills it. And so even though it's non-GMO, that doesn't mean that it wasn't treated with some sort of pesticide in the beginning or end of its life cycle. So you really got to watch that. They're really good at making it seem like things are healthy, and they're not. So
can I add something to that real quick before you continue?
Yeah, absolutely.
I recently had an experience where, so in my cleaning company, I have many different clients, and I have one particular person who shall remain nameless, but he is a big farmer in a big state up north. That's all I'm going to say, okay? And he has a lot of wheat, oats, barley, all the things, right? And I learned just recently that he has been taught and given a line of nonsense about those products. He has been completely misinformed. And there's been many people I know that are farmers that have said the same thing. That I don't know who's been giving their information to them, but he actually said that, because I said, so just in casual conversation, I asked him, I don't want to get off topic here, but hey, so do you use BT ready seeds or are you using heirloom seeds up there? I didn't know. Yeah, I was just making conversation as I was cleaning. And he looked at me all funny and he goes, well, I'm using the BT seeds. I said, oh, okay. And for anybody who doesn't know what BT seeds are, is they're Roundup ready seeds. They're genetically modified to absorb and accept the Roundup without killing the plant. So anyway, it's just the difference between that and an heirloom seed, which would be a natural, like nature-based seed. Anyway, we got into a big debate, and I realized when he was starting to talk to me, he's like, I don't know who's been telling you your information. He said, this Roundup is no big deal. He said, the stuff starts to dissipate the minute it hits the ground. That's not what I've heard. I've heard it lasts in the soil for 7 years. So I think maybe we need to have a non-judgmental conversation going forward in humanity about this, because I think many people are under the impression these things are safe.
That's
you know,
a
and
good-
and if Roundup, for example, works by killing the gut flora, the gut biome of the plant, making it unable to thrive, then what does it do if you are what you eat? What does it do when we eat it? Right? But
exactly.
anyway, I wanted to add that to what you were saying because it's everything you're saying is so true and
That's
very
a huge-
important.
That's a huge
Right.
talking point, and I'm glad you brought it up because I can tell you where they got that information. They got it from Monsanto and Bayer, the people who make
Yeah.
it, because what they do is they have these scientists of their own that they pay
Mhm.
that is not third party at all, and they don't allow third party testing on the product. If there is third party testing on the products, that's shut down because it tells
Yeah.
the truth. And
Yeah.
what they've done is they convince the farmers and everybody who uses it that it is as safe as table salt. You can take this stuff and you can drink it and you'll be fine. And
I know someone who did. They've got cancer now.
yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It's like these people have been sold this idea that it's safe, that you can spray it and take your kids out into the field as soon as it's done.
Mhm.
And then you look at the real mechanism of how it works, and it's like Zach Bush, the dude that's with Kiss the Ground. He's a triple board certified immunologist and like super awesome guy. He's one of the first people that I learned this stuff about. And he was saying that Roundup itself, the way that it works, there's this part of the plant called the shikimate pathway.
Yep.
And the shikimate pathway is where the amino acids are built within the plant, and the amino acids are build the flavor and the nutrients and the medicine in the plant. And whenever Roundup is introduced to the plant, it blocks that pathway. So those amino acids can't be built, the nutrients can't be built, the medicine can't be built. So then the medicine is taken out of the food and it's replaced with poison. And then the people are fed what used to be medicine for thousands of years, and now it's poisoning them. So,
You're
Yeah.
exactly right. That's what I meant when I said it kills the gut biome of the plant. That's what I meant. Yeah, you know, it's true. And then, gosh, God bless everyone, but you look at people's health today.
oh, dude, 1 in 2
You
people
know?
with cancer, 1 in 3 people with pre-diabetes, 1 in 2 people with diabetes, 1 in 36 with severe autism.
Actually,
And those are all real statistics. And the 1 in 2 people with cancer, that's staggering because, I mean, that's half of the population, man. But
well,
Unbelievable.
it's true
So-
because
I know a lot about neurodivergency, and they say that the current rate's 1 in 31 for autism spectrum disorder. But if you think the whole spectrum is a large spectrum and ADHD is part of it, that's 1 in 8.
yeah, absolutely. And it was 1 in like 1,000 back in the 1970s.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was 1 in 1,000.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm not that old.
Yeah, and the only thing that's changed, well, there's been a lot of things that's changed, but the main thing that's changed from the 1970s, particularly starting in 1996, is the change of the food system and what we started using in our food. And a lot of people don't know that we didn't start using Roundup here in the United States until 1996.
Well, and I think before that, between DDT and the superphosphate fertilizers and then Roundup, I believe they stopped doing the, they used to amend the soil with boron, and now they use bromine, you know, and that's a halide that replaces the healthy halides in our body. There's so many things that are contributing to this, you know?
Yeah, it's incredible, honestly. It's mind-boggling.
As far as the question that Marcus asked on the labels, also to be mindful of when it comes to things if you put on your house or your body, not in the body, like we're talking about right here, right now, but this is all like, you know, in the body, on the body, around the body, you know.
And the air and the water.
Yeah. All these things to be aware of. And it's not to spread fear, of course, it's to spread awareness because this is a real thing.
Exactly.
And I'm so passionate about it because I can tell a difference big time, you know, getting away from even just the simple things, you know, like the simple fixes, you know, like the, you know, But as far as this label goes, I brought a couple to share with everyone today. And this is from a brand I use a lot, like I mentioned before, called Melaleuca. But here's also now, we talked about things inside the body. Now this is on the body. So it says, made with no chlorine bleach, no ammonia, no formaldehyde, no phthalates, and no parabens. And this would be safe for pets and children, no allergies, non-toxic. And then also, if you want to look at the back of the ingredients list, for example, the lighting isn't that great here, but it says ingredients, plant-derived cleaners. And then it talks about, because this is a patent, because it's their company, the specific ingredients, but the next ingredient would be plant-derived viscosity control, naturally derived pH adjuster, essential oils for cleaning and deodorizing, and fragrance containing essential oils only. So these are the types of things that you'd want to look at for labeling. I don't know if you can see this. I could probably give you a picture in the comments. But you see how it's on the front label right here? It says straight away what is not in there. You know, I don't know if you can tell. It's kind of got a glare, but there we go. It's right here on the front. So there shouldn't be a question when you pick up a product at the store and you're like, is this natural or not? There shouldn't be a question. It should be clearly labeled. Like that was cleaning for the house. Here's some dish soap instead of using Cascade, which puts a plastic film on your dishes. So the ingredients, the first ingredient is natural enzymes, plant-derived enzyme stabilizer, naturally derived water softeners, naturally derived pH adjusters. And those you can pronounce and all the ingredients in there. And you don't need like a degree to know what it is either. You know what I mean? Those are the things you want to start looking for on your products, you know, to put on the body or near the body. As far as in the body, yes, USD organic, non-GMO. Like he said before, the shorter the list, the better. You know, but here's another one I use, Dead Sea Collection brand. They're really good. And this is minerals, like Marcus mentioned, mineral hand wash with natural Dead Sea minerals and almond vanilla oil. That's the scent of it, almond vanilla oil.
Nice.
There's no weird synthetic fragrances, you know.
Yeah.
And by synthetic fragrances, because I am in the cleaning company, one thing that first got me aware of all this is like being a cleaner, for example, for someone else back in the day before I owned my own company. We'd use Fabioso or we use Clorox or things with really strong scents. And some people love that stuff. They don't think it's clean unless it smells like that, right? But I started getting headaches every single time I worked because of the smells.
Yeah.
And that's what started me on the deep dive about cleaning products and house products, because I was like, why do I keep getting this headache all the time? You know, it wasn't because I'm dehydrated. It wasn't because it was the fragrances that were blowing me away, like, well, too much, you know?
Absolutely.
And then I later learned that a woman I knew I forget which kind, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, I believe. Like the kind you also get when you use Roundup, ironically, from dipping her hands in the Clorox when she did her mopping. It absorbed into her skin. And because the skin is the largest organ in the body, we kind of forget that at times. And so it absorbs a lot of stuff and goes into our bloodstream, you know, so.
Directly into it, yeah. Faster than if you eat it, actually.
Yeah.
And
Really good
I
examples.
can relate with that. When I was a kid, I grew up with my grandma. It was like a chemical war zone, dude. Like, hey, you're being loud. It was Lysol all the time in the bathroom and like blade plug-ins and Febreze and everything else. And like, I just stayed with this like constant drip of mucus and constant headache and like nausea all the time, constant fatigue. And then like also later on I started developing like rashes and stuff from laundry detergents and whatnot because of the phthalates and the fragrances and everything else, surfactants and emulsifiers and stuff they put in those. And then as time has gone on, since like 2018, I think is whenever I really started to like transition over to something completely different than what I've been doing with my life before. And after I started getting away from these things, I started to notice that not only was my body reacting better to things, and like I had more energy and I could think more clearly. I didn't have the nausea all the time, didn't have the headache all the time, but like my sinuses started to clear up, my skin started to clear up. And with all that, I became more motivated to be who I actually am and to help people and to actually be a legitimately productive member of society. Because they say that a healthy person has a million aspirations, but a sick person has one.
Yeah.
And that's to get better. So I think we're heading toward a point now where people are starting to realize the most wealthy thing that you can have in your life is a regulated nervous system and a healthy state of being.
Health as well.
Health as well, exactly. And with that health, you can generate your own wealth. You can generate a reality that's worth living for you and your family. And it's a revolution. It is the revolution. It is the revolution, because we can go out in the streets and we can like make all this racket all day long, but unless we actually change what we're buying and who we're supporting, nothing changes, because everything's a money game. And if we pull our support from the people who are making these decisions that are harming the planet, that are harming us, that are harming our children, they can't operate anymore. They don't have funding.
I have to add something to this.
Let's go for it. Yeah, go ahead.
You know what pisses me off so bad? These folks that get so... You guilty human, you, look at you using all this plastic, you, how dare you, shame on you. You were the one sitting up in them boardrooms and them ivory towers making these products, and then you come in here and shame us about using them.
That's crazy.
Know, it gets me so mad. I'm like, whatever.
Climate change, everybody. Climate change.
Yes.
Climate change.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So, yeah, changing what we support and being more conscious of what we're supporting. That's the underground movement right there. That's the real change.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy out there.
Yeah, that's why buying organically is so important, because those unknown numbers, they say that if 14% of the population of America specifically goes to an organic lifestyle, they collapse.
Yes.
I'll repeat that.
Okay. 14%. Did we hear that? Come on, everyone.
Of the population goes to organic, they collapse. The system cannot sustain itself anymore because they won't have the support. If we pull our support, it all falls out from under, and we start supporting better communities. We start supporting better businesses with ethical motives. And we get to choose what we want for not only ourselves, but for our children growing up too. And I've been questioning, why are we allowing people that don't have our best interests at heart, that sell our interests out to corporations for oil, for pharmaceuticals, for war, and everything else, to make our decisions and to lead the pathway for our children and for us and for our environment? It seems counterintuitive, and it seems just not right. So
I can tell you why.
It's because
everyone's so darn busy nowadays. Yep. Everyone just keeps going with the status quo, what we've been taught, what we've been, right? Absolutely. People think to themselves, well, if that was the case, I would hear it on television. No, you wouldn't.
No,
not at all.
Man. No, not at all. Television people.
Yeah, well, they pay for the advertising, and that's what pays for the system. And so therefore, they're not going to advertise natural stuff because it's against their moneymaker, their machine.
Exactly. And that can tie us right into why things are the way they are. Like we were talking about before this, why cannabis and why all these other natural remedies got outlawed in the 1930s, because the Rockefellers and the DuPonts and some other collaborators all got together, and they decided if we outlaw this stuff, not only can we make plastic and oil and pesticides and everything else from it that makes us money, we can make pharmaceuticals from it that make us billions of dollars. And then we can, go ahead.
J.D. Rockefeller, you're right. He, at that time, the turn of the century, when it was like 18 to 1900 or whatever, you know, he was the one who made, you know, deemed hemp farming horrible and went with the wood. Why? Because that was his buddy. He wanted his buddy to make money. He shunned the, you know, cannabis farmers, the ones that could use for textiles and hemp and things like that, you know. And as far as Nikola Tesla, I forget the guy, is it Edison, who did the electricity, the AC/DC currents and circuitry? Yeah, well, Nikola Tesla was first, but he...
Yeah, it was Edison.
Who was the friend? J.D. Hunt, or who was the guy? I forget, one of Rockefeller's friends. Realized he couldn't make money on Nikola Tesla's idea because it was free energy. So they shook canned him, excuse my French, and went with the other guy. And we have electricity today. You know what I mean? They purposely did this stuff for profit, not for the health and well-being of us, for profit, for their own pocketbooks.
Absolutely.
And then convinced everyone who disagreed with them was insane.
Yeah.
You know?
That's where the reefer madness and all that stuff came about.
All these things. Yeah, all these crazy things.
What's crazy?
People, just think about it. I better make sure that my baby can have lavender tea as they sit there and take Xanax and drink Diet Coke. I mean, what? What the hell, man? Right? Do you know what I mean? You're concerned about a plant, and you're totally cool with 25 chemicals all at once.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
It's what's been normalized, you know. It's what we've been taught is best for us, and it's what
fast food.
It's what's common. And what's crazy to me, though, I just learned
also living off of fast food too. On top of that,
yeah. What's crazy to me that
just think of the ingredients in a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Yeah, it's a long list. It's a very long list. Starting off with modified wheat and modified corn starch.
Wood pulp. Wood pulp.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yep.
But a lot of people don't know that, like, the first vehicle that was ever built was built with hemp and ran on hemp fuel. And you can make clothes with it. You can make concrete with it. You can make pipes with it. You can make the fuel that runs the cars. You can make everything with it. And they just that's why it became illegal. They didn't even know what THC was until like the 1980s. And then it was made illegal and deemed unsafe without them even knowing what molecules were what in it. So was it really for our protection, or was it for, like you said, money?
I think it's because THC increases the ability for us to break free from the programming, and therefore it's the devil's lettuce, because they don't want that.
I agree. It is a divine spirit of its own that connects you with a more grounded sense of yourself.
Yeah.
And personally, I know in the past, like, I gotta be careful right now because legal trouble, but in the past when I've used it, it's people say it can be an escape tool, but it can also be a tool to reflect on things and to realize, to sort through things in a more deep way than you would if it wasn't there, you know. It's gotten the process.
I live in a state that's fully recreational, and anybody who has any negative thoughts or opinions about marijuana needs to seriously stop and knock it off and look around, because how many liquor stores on every single corner is there? Right?
A lot.
That's completely normalized. You know, I know that when I was 21 years old, a drunk driver almost killed me. Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, okay, whatever. We're taught, oh, you're happy? Go have a drink. Oh, you're sad? Go have a drink. Oh, you're whatever? Go have a drink. Oh, you're nervous? Go have a drink. You know? But they want to sit there and condone marijuana.
You're celebrating. Go have a
Right.
Exactly.
drink.
And
Like,
I mean,
what? It's so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 90% of our holidays here in the United States are based around alcohol. Even people drinking Christmas and coming up New Year's, that's the biggest drinking holiday of all of them, along with July 4th, which is where we celebrate our independence.
Yeah.
It's like
Furthermore,
not trying to bash the people that are drinking, but like,
no.
there's something to look at, and that is that alcohol and nicotine or tobacco have never been scheduled as a drug. They've never been scheduled as something that is harmful, that has no medicinal value, that could destroy lives, whereas cannabis is put at the highest and just recently brought down. But it's something to look at that those have never been even thought to be scheduled as something that's carcinogenic or terrible for you, whereas the thing that's medicinal has been. Kind of bizarre.
No. So the funny thing is about THC, if you ever take too much THC, all you have to do is take some CBD to get rid of it. It counteracts it, you know. So there is a solution for too much THC.
Yeah, I think the actual compound is the CBN that does that, or it's the CBG.
CBG, CBN. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and those two, because when I was in
see,
Colorado,
that's another idea. Good bring. I'm glad you brought that up. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
When I was in Colorado, I think 4 years ago, I had never heard of CBG or CBN or anything like that, and of course, they kind of pioneered next to California the cannabis industry, and so they're pretty well informed out there. And I was like, "What is this stuff that you're selling here? The CBG, CBN? I've heard of CBD, but never heard of like this."
There's a lot of them
in it, and what they do is like if you get too high, it mellows you out.
Yeah,
I was like, "Wow, that's incredible!"
Like, and so there's people that are like, "Oh my god. Oh, I took marijuana. It made me so paranoid and nervous." That's something internally, like, on no disrespect, that's something internally that needs to be worked out. You know, marijuana is an educator. It's been used for thousands of years. Shamans and whatnot have used it. You know, I do disagree with the mass farming of marijuana, just like I disagree with the mass farming of animals and our plants, right? You know?
Yeah.
But you're so right. I live, like I said, in a recreational state, and now they're finally bringing light to the different terpenes in the different plants for different effects. You know, to avoid anxiety, to help. You know, the stats are awesome. For example, on just something as, you know, common as PTSD. You know, different types of terpenes and THC and so forth have really positive benefits for people suffering with PTSD, for example. I know that CBD is really great for ADHD, you know? So I think it's really about education, because everyone seems to know which type of liquor, like, oh, I like gin, I like vodka, I like whatever. Well, why don't we start talking about marijuana like that too? You know, the different varieties of it.
Absolutely.
And what they're good for, you know?
I agree. And
then that's like living here in a state where it's supposed to be legal. Okay, it is. You can go buy it right now anywhere, and you don't have to go to a back alley, nothing like that. But I want to see the upcoming and like birth of, you know, recreational spots where you can go as an adult and have clean, happy fun, and not weird, disgruntled fun, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Like go play shuffleboard, or go to a smoothie bar and maybe step out back and share a doobie with your friends or something. Do you know, if it's really truly legal, then let's quit pretending.
Yeah.
When you can walk into a bar, have 10 shots in a row, and go slam your car into a freaking semi. I mean, you know, like, let's be real here. You know?
Yeah.
We actually have a common friend right now, Jade and I do.
It's really wild.
Broken leg and shattered ankle and everything else because she just got hit with a driver.
Yeah.
Not too long ago. And
Man.
The being able to go and I had to process what I was thinking for a second, but shout out to my friend Hollywood. It's Holly, and then Wood, like Would You, her last name. But she opened this place called the Luna Lounge back in like 2021, something like that, which is basically a lounge where you can just go and just chill.
That's cool.
And smoke with people. And my band played the grand opening there, and then she had another place open up.
Nice.
And we played the opening too, and that was cool. But she owns a dispensary now, and
That's awesome.
so she's just going up and up. But I agree that it's very nice to have places where people can go and have that safe fun, and where it's regulated, and where you don't have to worry about facing repercussions or something.
Yeah, like put your keys in a jar for an hour, and then after an hour is up, okay, then now you're free to go if you want.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
True that, man. It's all about being responsible with it, and just like alcohol, because people can go to a bar and drink all night, and then they claim they got DD, they claim they're sober, but then they still drive drunk, and
there's nobody watching them. Okay, so in my situation, in 1998, I was in 110 miles an hour head-on collision, and the man who was drunk went 5 miles down the highway before I stopped him.
Whoa!
Would somebody do that with some joints? I don't think so.
Definitely not. You're too paranoid.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I personally am, but no, it's a different thing. You're being aware of your surroundings, like.
True. Yeah, that's what it is. You're being aware of your surroundings. Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
But
anyway, I'm not here to bash alcohol. It is what it is. I'm just saying, like, there's different natural alternatives,
I think it's an important conversation to be had.
We're gonna call for what it is, though, at this point.
Yeah, I think it's an important conversation to be had, and honestly, like alcohol sales and everything, it drops drastically in the last couple of years because people are starting to notice this, and people are starting to notice the effect that it's having on your life and your loved ones, and that it like has potential to destroy lives more than it has potential to help lives. So it's a conversation that is worth having, that I'm glad has come up here. And if anybody does feel triggered or like we've been bashing you because you drank alcohol, sorry. But at the same time, it's true stuff, It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I second those words. If you do drink alcohol and you're offended by any of us saying that, I do apologize. Myself, I celebrated 10 years of recovery, not sobriety, but recovery. That's a thought process and the way you perceive things. And I changed my life 10 years ago. And so I understand both sides of the fence on this, and it's just so much easier once you stop having to deal with those types of things. It doesn't seem like it is when you're on the other side of the fence. Like, what are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with me. Have a drink once in a while. So what? Stop it for a year, then tell me how you feel.
Exactly. And generally, if you stop for even a month or two, they start to see that their brain and their bodies start to rehabilitate themselves to a point where like they're starting to think more clearly. They don't feel so dragged down all the time. They're not depressed all the time.
Yeah.
There's fantastic things to help if you do give yourself the time to get away from it and actually be sober. And
well, not even really sober. In recovery is how I like to say it. I'm not trying to change or correct you. I'm just saying that it sounds a little scary when you say sober.
Agreed.
Oh, what? Oh my God, that's scary. What the hell? I can't do that. No, in recovery means you're not going to run to it as a crutch every time you have an issue. You're going to stop, pause, gather yourself, come to a conclusion, and then if you really need to have a drink or whatever, have one, not 20. Don't do it immediately as a reaction, because then you never solve your problem that caused in the first place. You just keep repeating that because you just keep burying it with alcohol.
True. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So that's why I say in recovery, because in recovery, you're constantly thinking from that perspective. Okay, I'm no longer my own victim. I'm not, right, with all love and respect. I was my own victim for a long time, you know.
Yep, can relate.
But it's a different perspective, and it doesn't mean like you're sitting there like, I'm so sober, I'm such a square. And that's not what we're saying at all. Not being a victim to it is what we're saying.
Absolutely. And congratulations on
For
the
sure.
10 years of recovery.
Thank you.
I'm actually right there with you. In 2026, it'll be 10 years since I've had a drop of alcohol myself. So,
Nice.
hell yeah.
There you
Other
go.
substances, yeah, other substances, it's been a shorter period of time. But recovery is the thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
So guys, let's talk more about ingredients while we're here.
Yeah.
So I have, and thank you guys for talking about all of that as well too. That was just such a beautiful thing to witness. Like that was just like conversation that needed to be had, honestly. So thank you guys for that.
Yeah, thank you for the space. It's
So I wanted to share this right here, essential oil.
Nice.
So I want to share something about essential oils. Essential oils are a great example of labels and things to look for. You know, with essential oils, you can go to Walmart, you can go to CVS, you can go to a lot of different stores, and you can go get essential oils. And what you'll see on those essential oils, it will typically say, you know, like natural fragrance. It'll say a certain chemical name as well. And then it may have then lavender added to that as well. And it might even not be just lavender. It might say lavender fragrance, or it may say natural lavender. So I wanted to share an example of a product that I have here at my home when it comes to essential oils and what kind of things you can look for in the description of their label. So when you look at this one right here that I have, you can see that it has where it says it is third-party tested. And what third-party tested means is that they are allowing those that are of a higher awareness of what's supposed to be in it in order to make it clean and organic to be able to test their product rather than them allowing it to be only reserved within their own place and not allowing a third party to test it in order to show that it's truly organic for public transparency. So that's the whole point of having third-party testing when it comes to these kind of ingredients going out in the public world for everybody, such as essential oils. And when it gets third-party tested, that means it's then organic and truly organic and safe for the public to be able to consume and have in their being. Now, the consumption part, research. There's something about research that we all have the great gift of in this time period. And we can all simply go to Google or any search. And when it comes to ingredients, we can type in an ingredient name and you can type in what it means, what kind of effects it has, and what kind of products it's in as well. So if you see something that you cannot pronounce on a label, if you see something that you just have no clue what it could be, type that in on Google and see what comes up about what that is. And there's been things, including the vaccines, and yes, I'm saying the vaccines, where you can look up the ingredients that are in some of these vaccines. And it turns out that these ingredients are specifically dangerous for the human consumption. So it's something to really think about when it comes to the ingredients. So along with the third-party testing, it also says on here, no synthetic fragrance or no synthetic usages. And then the third one down there, it has a little bunny rabbit showing that it has no animal testing as well. So they do not test their products on innocent animals of this planet that do not deserve to be tested on for potentially toxic, confined on essential oils and what to look for. And feel free to do your due diligence when it comes to these kind of things, and contact the people that make the products and ask questions as well. And if they can't give you transparency, then I would say move on to the next one and see who gives you transparency, because there will be those that are transparent. And those are the ones that have nothing to hide and are also the most safest for you and your children as well. So I would just think about that when it comes to essential oils. And that's really goes with a lot of the other ingredients in the products as well.
I agree 100%. The cleaning products and essential oils and stuff like that, those, in my personal experience, have been harder to decipher than food labels, because with food labels, they are by law right now required to tell you if it's bioengineered ingredients. You can look on the back of it, and if it's like a can or something, see if I can find something real quick. No, but it'll at least say, I don't think they have to tell you if it wasn't, but like on the back somewhere around like this area, it would say made by engineered ingredients or something like that. And the things to watch out for, and that I've come to discover, would be anything with metal in it, like titanium dioxide, aluminum, phosphate, the phosphates, the sulfates, the nitrates, the nitrites, let's see, glycerins, which is actually ground down animal bone. Yummy. Didn't know that. Let's see.
Let's back up to that titanium dioxide real quick. Usually when you find titanium dioxide in a body product, you'll find aluminum dioxide as well. And us women and our body care, our facial care, our makeup, these are huge places where you find these types of stuff.
Huge, especially in makeup. Yeah.
And there's actually some facts out there. You go look it up. You'll find surprising facts, like the average woman uses like 200 chemicals a day or something like that. Some crazy outstanding number, you know, on their skincare routine, you know.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. And I wanted to say it was like upwards of 500 chemicals they're putting on just their face in a day. But it could be like 250. It was a lot. It was a staggering number.
Yeah.
For like what, just for like the foundation and the eyeliner and like lipstick and stuff like that, like just on your face alone, you're talking over 250 chemicals or 500, like a lot, over 100 chemicals for your face every day that shouldn't be there, that your skin is absorbing, and it's going straight into your bloodstream, and your brain is right here. And
you know, I remember a couple of years ago, I was curious, and I was somewhere. I don't remember where I was. Oh, I think it was Sephora. I was in Kohl's, and I stopped by Sephora, whatever. Anyway, I said to the woman, "Hey, can you just show me your most popular wrinkle serum?" She shows me. Literally, the first two ingredients are titanium dioxide, and out of the first three, it was one, and then two was titanium dioxide, and the third one was aluminum something. I forget what it was. Aluminum. Yeah, I was like, no, no thanks, no thanks.
That's crazy. And well, circling back to what Christo said, touching on the vaccine thing, if you look into ingredients, there's only a handful of them that don't have aluminum or mercury in them. And they say that by the age of 2 now, the average kid, if you get all of the injections, you're ingesting over 3,600 micrograms of aluminum, which is 3.5 grams of aluminum, and that like all goes to your brain. So
you know, I have some personal experience with this. My son had a reaction to a second dose of his MMR. And so we've done a lot of research on this topic. And there is a solution for parents who are still hesitant to not vaccinate their children. The solution, the answer is to do single shot vaccinations, not combination shots like a DTaP, MMR, thing like that, because the adjuvant is what causes the problem, and that is what contains the metal, and that's what holds the vaccine together.
Absolutely.
So if you really want, like I told my sister who is a nurse, she's hesitant and doesn't want to hear it, and I said, well, you're going to have to get single shot vaccines in, 1 measles, 1 mumps, and 1 rubella if you really want to do it, not the one that contains all 3. That's where those adjuvants come in. And that's what harmed my son, and that's what harms many people.
Yeah. And it's a complicated and controversial subject, but
It's not controversial for any other reason besides people are scared because they've did it and they wonder if it's their fault. It's not their fault. We've all been lied to.
absolutely. But what a lot of people don't know
You know?
is that, so we're told that our tonsils are useless. We're told that our adenoids are useless. What we're not told is that if you leave them alone and you let your body be healthy, what they do is they'll take the air that you're breathing, they'll take the water you're ingesting or whatever liquid you're ingesting, they'll take the food you're ingesting, and they'll take little microparticles of that, and they send it straight down into your gut, bypassing every single other organ. And that allows your gut to develop bacteria and microbes to deal with what is incoming to your system.
Yeah.
Meaning that we have a natural vaccination system within our body that was God-given to us from the very beginning. And if we keep our bodies healthy, then you really don't have to worry about the stuff that comes from the outside because your body already knows how to deal with it. And if it doesn't know how to deal with it, what happens is you get sick, and then your body makes the antibodies and microbes to deal with it whenever it comes again. That's how immunity works. That's how the immune system works. So we've been sold an idea of how to keep our immune system in check when we have kind of been misled on how our immune system works in the first place.
Well,
Yep.
you're right about that.
So true.
You know? And I
So
maybe should apologize again too. I guess maybe I'm not angry about it, but I didn't mean to be disrespectful when I said, "Oh, don't be controversial." Or it isn't controversial. It is controversial, and that's because it's like one of the things. Like, for example, religion is so close to the heart. So is health.
Truth.
You know what I mean? And so, therefore, these deep-seated ideas that we all are given at an early age is what the trouble is. You know.
Absolutely.
You know.
And it's tough because the science that we've been shown and what we've grown up with our entire lives points in one way, and then thousands of years of living points to another way, and we live in a system where they've erased thousands of years of history within a couple of generations. We forgot how to farm. We forgot how to. We've become so disconnected from ourselves and from the natural state of the world that we have no choice but to rely upon the system that they gave us because we don't know anything else.
Yep, it's true.
So,
and that's okay.
Snap. You guys ready for that?
I just want to add to everything you're saying. It's so right.
All right.
Sorry, Marcus.
Oh boy. Go ahead, Sarah, and then I'll go.
Sorry, my bad. I know. I was just gonna say I want to add. You're so right about all this, and I just want to say, don't feel some type of way because all of us are in the same boat. All of us. Don't be like, oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed or I'm angry or
Oh yeah.
I'm insulted or whatever. Don't because we're all in the same boat. We're all learning now. We're all realizing now. Like this is the time. This is the sign of the times that we're here talking about this right now. You
Yeah,
know?
it's the awakening, man. And
Yeah.
to reiterate, like none of this is to shame anybody. It's merely to
Yeah.
bring awareness and
Insight.
insight to
Mhm.
important topics that we've been so misled on for so long that
Yeah.
it's caused us to get to this state of disease in society that we're in, where the statistics are that like 1 in 2 people have cancer, where like 1 in
Yeah.
6 neurodivergent autistic traits, where
Mhm.
1 in 3 have like
Mhm.
pre-diabetes and 1 in 10 have diabetes. And like it's the design of the system. It's the way that it is. It's not our fault. It's
Yes.
we have a choice in whether we continue to support it or not once we become aware of it, and then
Right.
the responsibility at that point. But until then, if you
Yep.
don't know, you don't know. If you
Yeah.
like, they say that becoming aware of a problem is the first step to developing a solution.
Exactly.
Mhm.
No? So if people aren't aware of what's going on, you can't fix anything. And if
Yes.
you're not aware that your body is a mechanism that's made to like literally be self-sustaining without pharmaceuticals and stuff, you don't know. So this is not to shame people. This is to inform people and to bring awareness to things that are making us sick, that are dividing us, and that are keeping
Yes.
us from our higher selves and from moving forward as a species.
I love how you said that. Dividing us.
That's right.
Because that's another tactic they use, they use.
Mhm.
Oh,
Absolutely.
let's
Yeah.
say that that's a bunch of conspiracy. The word conspiracy theory was made by the FBI to discredit people who were telling the truth.
In
So
1957.
be
Yep.
aware when you hear something, go do your due diligence, like I think a couple of us have mentioned here today.
Yes.
And go do your own research because you're going to find the real truth if you look. Because they don't hide the truth. Well, they kind of hide the truth, but they're so busy trying to sit here and pit us against each other, you know?
Yeah.
Not only do we have, misled systems, we're now against each other. Oh, that person votes different than me. Oh, that
That's a good way
person
to
has a
say that.
different religion.
Misled
You know?
systems.
Cares, right?
Yeah. What, Marcus?
That is such a good way to say it too, misled systems. Because like you think about like, the nurses. The nurses that you meet are like some of the most beautiful people that have a
Yeah.
good heart and just want to actually help people. But
Mm-hmm.
it's the system that placed under that is misleading, as you said, Sarah, misleading system. Like we have
Yeah.
all these beautiful people that want to serve each other and help each other, but they just don't know where to go besides what they've been fed. So it's like that's where compassion for our people on the lower levels comes in is, like we understand that you guys want to help us, but you also have to understand too that you're also working with a system that's against us. And what I love about what we're doing is we're creating systems ourselves within this kingdom that is actually going to create jobs, it's going to create opportunities, it's going to create community that we can't even see right now today, but in years, we're probably going to be opening up facilities and businesses that allow others to get jobs in ways that truly resonate with what they're trying to do. And it's like really a beautiful thing that we are really in those footsteps right now. I got to say, like, I see that for all of us together, and we all have it in our own way, and we also have it as a community, and it's very one of a kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one good
That's what it's
thing
all
about
man.
this. Yeah, that was one thing that was really good about the past several years during the COVID times, is that it really honestly brought a lot of light to the darkness of the allopathic medical world. And that
Absolutely.
is if the doctors and/or / nurses don't go along with what the higher ups say, they don't get money or they get fired.
Yeah. Yeah, I know plenty of people that refused the shot and that refused to administer it, that got canned and that
Yeah.
couldn't get any kind of disability, couldn't get a job
Well,
anywhere else.
even with the ventilators, even with remdesivir, these women, these doctors and nurses, these these men, they all knew,
Yep.
and they were told do this or else. You
Yeah.
know?
And yeah, it's either comply or you lose your livelihood. And
Yeah.
a corner that nobody should ever be backed into, especially whenever it comes to crossing the boundaries of your own moral ethics and the oath
Yes.
the oath that you took to protect the people that you're serving.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it brought a whole lot of light to the darkness in that respect, and I'm glad that it did, because it's opened up a lot of conversations, and honestly, it's opened up a lot of doors for people to start making holistic and natural homeopathic kind of remedies and businesses and stuff that didn't necessarily have a chance before, because everything was so biased towards the pharmaceutical system. But now that we've all seen that it's a very money driven thing, and that there wasn't much science that actually like went into backing all this up before things were rolled out and things were forced and people were coerced and whatever else, that the natural means of things was the way to do it all along. Like, so it's it brought a lot of light to things, as much as it brought a lot of heartbreak and sadness as well. But
yeah, it's very empowering, I'd say.
Yes, very much so.
Like, for example,
power,
one
as
thing
say.
Say what?
I was just going to say one really cool thing I learned during that time. Well, several, but one of the big things was about viruses in general and the different herbs and different natural things that can help remedy them. You know, taking the word COVID out of it. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely, yeah.
I thought it was really cool. I learned that. Have you ever heard of a herb called star anise? And they look like little pods, like little flowers, like a little petal, like a pod.
I don't think.
Anyway, star anise. That is originally where Tamiflu. Have you ever heard of Tamiflu?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tamiflu was originally made from star anise, because star anise gives out shikimic acid, which, if ingested, produces shikimites, which actually kill the virus, right? And now it's synthesized, but originally, even Google will tell you it's true. It was originally made from star anise, you know. So things like right now, I have in my kitchen a flu formula I made for the flu season, which has 2 different herbs that have shikimic acid in them, and that would be white pine and fennel. So white pine, fennel, and star anise, and I do believe clove. Also, all 4 have the shikimic acid, which naturally would kill a virus.
Nice.
So
that's fascinating, actually.
Yeah.
Very fascinating.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really interesting things.
Eucalyptus. I mean, very basic rules.
Our ancestors knew.
Well, I mean, even taking it to a higher level right now, where like one of the most common things that people are trying to push is like ivermectin for parasite detox and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I got curious the other day, and it's weird that they're partnering it with the fenbendazole or whatever, however that's pronounced, because fenbendazole has its origins in petrol, very much so. It's very much an inorganic compound, but I mean, if you look at what petrol does, it's kind of a pesticide in its own way, so it'll get rid of anything that lives. But if ivermectin in particular, I got curious as to how that was made. And it is made from a bacterium in the soil. meaning that the anti-cancer compounds that people are looking for, the cure for cancer, is in the ground. It's in the soil. It's in the
minerals
microbiology of the soil. Exactly, because that's what regulates your immune system. And those
minerals get rid of metals, and parasites feed on metals.
Yes, they do. And that's where the big discussion of like vaccines and stuff like that come in, because the parasites ride in mostly on animal products. That's their big thing. Whenever it comes to fruits, raw fruits and stuff like that, you're generally not looking at much of a parasite problem because of the alkalinity of it, the structure of the H3O within the fruit. They can't exist there. It's too high vibrational for them to exist there. Worms do like apples and stuff like that, don't get me wrong, but you're far more or less likely to develop a parasitic infection from fruits and vegetables than you are from meat and animal products. And so a lot of the population here thrives, well, mostly consumes meat products, which increases your risk of parasitic infection. And then you couple like the heavy metals in the food and in the vaccines and stuff that people are being force fed all the time. And you put those together and you get a cornucopia of parasites with a cornucopia of heavy metals, and they symbiotically exist in your body, creating disease and eventually cancer. And
Candida.
Exactly. Candida is huge, dude. Huge. I think I'm even still
Candida is the beginning of cancer.
Yeah. They knew a long time ago that cancer is a parasitic thing. It's very much tied to the parasites in your body, and your entire system gets out of whack because there's an overgrowth of fungus, mold, and parasites.
Well, not to be nasty, but it's because they're going number 1 and number 2 inside of you.
In your blood system, you got radical toxins going through. Yeah, it's so disgusting. And it's even more crazy whenever you think that like they can pass the blood-brain barrier and they can get in your brain, and then they're going number 1 and 2 in there with the heavy metals. And
that's gross. I mean, it's said that most of us have them. I mean, I'm not saying I'm exempt from that. I'm just saying it's gross. No wonder the $1 trillion industry, the medical industry, is so big,
Yeah, I will say that we can't get rid of all of them, that we do want balance of them in our body, because they're beneficial to some degree, but getting rid of all of them is just flat out impossible. Like we're the trillions of walking bacteria is what we are. And
that's true.
Yeah, it's bizarre to think about because we're just conscious bacteria. But when it comes down to it, it's about balance and your microbiome. It's your whole thing is balance. Whether you're too acidic, whether you're too alkaline, whether there's too many parasites, whether there's not enough parasites, whatever. It's all about balance within your body. And finding the balance that's where the natural living thing comes into play, because the more that you get to a natural state of being, you start to identify the things that are starting to really like take your health downward. And it's only a matter of time before you realize that like parasites are a thing, heavy metals are a thing, pesticides are a thing, what they're spraying in the air is a thing, lack of sunlight is a thing, lack of exercise is a thing. It's all about small things that we're doing that we can make little shifts in, that can make drastic, huge changes in how we live and like our health overall,
Yeah. As you were talking earlier, I had a thought go through my head.
Big time.
When you were talking about, how everything's been designed this way, basically, and I had the thought go through my head. I think David Icke said it, problem, reaction, solution. That's how they work. There's a problem. They help to create the reaction. They help emphasize it. And then they help to create the solution. Oh, I think you were talking about the fenbendazole and stuff like that. Yeah, so they know that we found out about the parasites, and so they want, oh yeah, they get in there and they help rah us up, but then they go, oh, take ivermectin. And then they reformulate it right behind our backs with
Yep.
some good old graphene oxide and stuff like that, problem, reaction, solution.
Love
That's
it.
why it's always good to be natural, like you were saying, because, I mean, in theory, you could have conditions, clean growing conditions and have herbs grown in a clean area versus outside it where there's spraying going on.
Yeah.
And you
for sure.
could actually cure yourself, right, without them interfering.
Very
So,
much so. Yeah, and that's another thing that's like a talking point of its own is how hard it is to grow organic food in a non-organic
mhm.
environment now, because everything, like even in most small towns in the summertime, they'll take trucks around and spray the entire town with mosquito spray. And
Mhm.
I mean, you look at what they do with all businesses, people go and spray every square inch around there. They spray the outside, they spray the sidewalk, they spray the yards,
Yep.
and it's like impossible to get away from. And I mean, it's all one closed loop system here. Whatever we put on the ground out there evaporates up into the air, so we breathe it in the air, and then it rains down on us, so it's in the water. And then if you spray it on the ground, it doesn't stay there on the surface, it seeps down into the ground, and then what's below the ground, our aquifers, our freshwater sources. And then those become contaminated with what we're putting on it. So it's so hard to even grow natural food at this point. And I mean, it's not even about pesticides like chemtrails and everything else that they're spraying in the sky with the aluminum and the barium and
Yep.
cadmium and like all these other heavy metals that they use to spray up there too. That all comes right back down because of gravity. So
Yeah.
it's very hard to live a completely natural lifestyle at this point without some sort of something getting into it that shouldn't be there. And that again comes back to it's how it's designed.
Yep. Well, yeah, on top of what you're saying, which is 1,000% true and so valid,
Yeah.
like in our own lives, the common chemicals and the effects on the body, parabens, phthalates, that weird word with the PHLATES or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's SLSs, there's formaldehydes. Parabens are linked, they're preservatives and they're linked to hormone disruption.
Mm-hmm.
Phthalates are often hidden in fragrances and women's products, and they're associated with endocrine disruption. SLSs and SLESs, they're, harsh detergents, that strip natural oils from your skin and hair, and that allows all the chemicals to come in, There's products with formaldehyde, and formaldehyde release,
Good point.
Yeah, it's a preservative as well, put in things, and associated with long-term toxicity, What is formaldehyde? It's an embalming fluid, right? So if you have enough formaldehyde in your life, what are you doing essentially? Did you know, this is a fun fact, did you know Downy? Yeah, Downy, the fabric softener everybody uses, has formaldehyde in it, one of the top 3 ingredients. So every single time you wash your clothes with Downy, you're putting a layer of formaldehyde on your skin.
So I want to read this little
What's that?
about formaldehyde real quick.
Yes, do it.
So formaldehyde concerns. It is known as a colorless, flammable, strong-smelling chemical used in manufacturing resins, plastics, and composite wood products, and as a preservative, disinfectant, and germicide. It is also a natural byproduct of plant decay and combustion. It can be found in tobacco smoke and some building materials, which can lead to air pollution. And it's also linked to shortness of breath, breathing and difficulty in eyes, skin, and respiratory irritation. Long-term exposure is linked to certain cancers Inhalation is cause narrowing of bronchi and fluid in the lungs. Corrosive injury when ingested, the solution can cause a corrosive injury to the can't speak. Yeah, gastrointestinal tract. Carcinogenic, aka cancer risk. Formaldehyde is classified as a human carcinogen linked to myocardial leukemia and rare cancers of the nasal cavity. It is found in hair straightening products, nail polish, deodorants, toothpaste, and various cosmetics, chemical manufacturing processes, productions of plywood, particle board, and other products, textile manufacturing, paint and varnish production, household products like glues and adhesives, inhalation materials,
Yes.
crushed products, furniture, cabinets, air fresheners, cigarette smoke, vaccines in small amounts, preservatives, and a disinfectant. It is used as a preservative in mortuaries,
medical labs,
medical labs, architectural,
agricultural
applications like
fumigant for crops.
it is used in the tanning industry to treat proteins and as a component in some urinary
Antiseptics.
and is used in some fabric treatment.
And I'd also like to add that Roundup itself, I looked up how it was made a couple of weeks, like last week. The two primary ingredients are petrol and formaldehyde. So whenever it says agricultural applications, that's what that's talking about. And it's
like she just said fabrics too, and I saw a comment, someone said something about flame retardant. Yes, be sure to wash your clothes. I use borax in my wash to get that stuff out of my clothes. But that was a good point. As you were reading the description of formaldehyde, someone brought up in the comments about the flame retardant, and then you brought it up in the food. So it's like it's all encompassing. It's everywhere. This formaldehyde.
Yeah.
You know.
You were talking about I can't ever read it, pronounce it right.
That's the phthalates.
Yeah. So phthalates, they can be absorbed through the body through food, personal care products, inhalation of dust. They're considered I can't ever say that word. Endocrine. Yep. Disruptors. Can't speak. And exposure to them is linked to various health concerns, such as potential effects on reproductive and developmental health. Some research suggests links to issues like higher cholesterol levels in female infants and negative impacts during pregnancy. They are very harmful to the environment. They are found in plasticizers to make plastics, especially vinyl, soft, durable, and long-lasting. They are also used to help fragrances linger longer in products like perfumes and air fresheners, plastic foods and beverage containers, plastic wraps, and food processing equipments, perfumes and lotions, vinyl toys, such as bath toys and rubber ducks, household items, vinyl flooring, wall coverings, and some furniture and medical devices, nail polish, and eyeshadow, hairspray, hair gel, deodorants, and soaps. They can also be found in some medication, lubricants, detergents, and cleaning products.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Let me say, let's put that into real life. So a woman, she puts on her makeup every day, uses Downy to smell beautiful, puts on perfume, puts on hairspray, then gets pregnant. So she has all those chemicals in her body and continues to use them. As a matter of fact, takes her perfume with her to have her baby because it smells so pretty. So what does that do? It disrupts the endocrine system of her and her child. What is that? Thyroid, hypothyroidism. What is that? Diabetes. What is that? Estrogen dominance. What is that? Lack of progesterone, or what is that? Lack of testosterone. Like, do you see that where this plays out in real life? And we think, it's no big deal. Everything's toxic.
Yeah.
Every little tiny piece you take away, it just helps all the more.
Yeah,
You know.
for sure.
So it's
To piggyback on that, there's two kinds of plastic things that a lot of people have been like screaming about here in the last like 50 years, specifically the PFAS and the PFOAs.
Yeah.
Those are right up there with the phthalates and the sulfates and all that fun stuff. But what a lot of people overlook is that in your body, once those leach, and they're made in plastic. That's the like base of plastic for one. If people don't know what PFAS or PFOAs are, they're the like polymers that you start out with to make plastic. Once those form the bonds, those bonds automatically start breaking down. And as time goes on, as those bonds break, they release little microplastics, and those little PFAS and those little PFOAs start to leach into your body, whether it be from your toothbrush, whether it be from your polyester clothing, whether it be from plastic bottles, whether it be from plastic containers, anything plastic, it will start to leach these chemicals into you or whatever you're consuming. And these have been directly tied to what's called phytoestrogens. And phytoestrogens is what it breaks down to in your system, and that causes an overabundance of estrogen in your system, which decreases your testosterone level if you're a dude, and decreases your progesterone level if you're a chick. And that causes all sorts of hormone problems, including and not limited to you acting like a completely different sex. Like if you're a dude, you could start acting like a chick because you're starting to get so much estrogen in your system. If you're a chick that is losing all the progesterone and getting an overabundance of estrogen, then you're just going to be stressed out and just all the time because that's what you got in you, you know? So the hormone disruption that comes with this is something that has been very overlooked in the last like 20 years. But if you look at society and the lack of testosterone in dudes and how many dudes have become feminized over the last 20 years in particular, and then we look at what people are putting in their body and what's going on in their body, you start to realize, holy shit, this is because of the chemicals that people are being subjected to without even knowing it. And once you start to get that stuff out of your system and you start to regulate your endocrine system again and your hormone production again, you start to get back to yourself. And so that's one thing that whenever it comes to like mental health and your like hormone health, hormones are so tied in with your mental health that like it's absolutely insane. So it's something that I think is very important for people to really look at and try and get away from the plastics as much as possible, because you may not know exactly how much it's really impacting your health, and it's so hard to get away from them.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up because I'm glad you did, because you're so right. It's almost like we've also been trained that the body is a bunch of separate little systems. No, it's one system with a bunch of little different parts, you know?
Exactly.
And if there's something wrong with your endocrine system, there's something wrong with your thyroid, there's something wrong with your prostate, there's something wrong with it's all serotonin, melatonin, and all the things are all hormones. You know what I mean? And like you said, the estrogens, there's phytoestrogen and xenoestrogen. That's the plastic version of estrogen is xeno, Xeno, xenoestrogen. And phyto, like soy. If you notice, there's soy in everything. That's a phytoestrogen.
Facts.
You know?
Facts. So it's the plastic that breaks down to the xeno then, and the soy that breaks down into the phyto?
Yeah. Okay,
I got those two mixed up then. But it was, I I know what you're saying. They do break down to estrogen in the system, and that's where the term soy boy has come from. For
Estrogen dominant, eh?
yeah, indeed, yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta watch
Yeah.
out for that soy and tofu.
I mean, I love tofu, but
That's why they push it so
we're
hard
talking
as
about
like
these
the
isolates.
alternative. Soy and tofu.
yeah.
Actually, my blood type does really well with soy products, but what I'm talking about is like soy protein isolate, these knockoff versions that are not even pure. If you have a
Yeah.
pure soy, your body can absorb and deal with that much easier than it can a synthetic or processed version of soy. You know.
Absolutely. Well, it's also
So that's where
with
the ingredients go again, you know?
yeah, and if it's in the natural soy, it's with the other nutrients and minerals that are in soy
Mhm.
that your
Yeah.
body helps produce along with that estrogen. So it's not getting an overconcentrated amount of the estrogen that it would be getting if it was that like concentrated soy protein type deal that you're
Yeah.
referring to, you know?
Right. Because I love me a good plant-based protein.
Yeah,
But
me too.
when I see things like soy isolate, I'm like, you know. You know?
Yeah, lentils and
Yeah.
beans, nuts and seeds have become the staples for us for protein type things. And really, we don't ingest much soy at all. I think there might be some of it in the hummus we have, but otherwise, don't really eat too much of that at all. Yeah, I discovered that if anybody is looking for meat replacements that like compares gram for gram on like protein and omega-3s and stuff like that, lentils are like one of the better ones, and then beans are good.
Yes.
You got stuff.
I was about to say quinoa.
Quinoa is great. Chia seeds are fantastic because they actually have more omega-3 in them than salmon does if you get like the right serving of it. Hemp seeds are fantastic because they also have your hemp omega-3 and a lot of protein, even a good amount of omega-6 and a lot of other stuff in there. Fennel seeds, fantastic for omega-3s. Flaxseed, great for omega-3s. It's all about diversity, and the more diverse that quick sidetrack, one of the gastroenterologists that I enjoy watching, his name is Will Bolsewitz, and he wrote this thing called Fiber Fueled. It's a book about like eating plant-based, and he basically said like it's not about like trying to get the right amount of protein, the right amount of this, the right amount of that. It's like eat a diverse diet, eat as many plants as you can, make it fun. And if you're doing that, you're going to get everything you need because they all have different things in them that are great for your body. So if you ingest a wide range of plants, then you're ingesting a wide range of nutrients and minerals and things that your body needs to help keep things balanced. It all goes back to balance.
Yeah. Yep. So I guess really to sum it all up, it's all about looking for greenwashed products, actually just taking a few extra minutes and planning to take a few extra minutes and looking at the ingredients lists of things you put on, around, and in your body. And it's really not as scary as it seems.
And if you don't know an ingredient, go look it up. Like ask what the health effects are on it, ask if there's any concerns with it, and then do your due diligence to see if the pros outweigh the cons on it. And if they don't,
do this thing right.
Maybe give it a pass.
You got the cell phone.
Exactly. You got a computer in your pocket all day, every day, most of us. So it's possible. I've actually been that dude that's in the aisle, and I'd be like,
most of us are usually looking at it while we're shopping too.
You know, there's an app, I think, isn't it? I forget. There's two apps I have on my phone. I forget right now. You could probably look it up. But there's an app that you can just on each item There's a bunny.
Yucca?
The bunny
The
is the
Yucca app?
logo. I forget the name.
Yucca.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Those are
Yucca with
good
a carrot.
Those are good for a starting point, but I don't think they cover all the bases on some things. Because there's stuff that they still recommend that I wouldn't bring to my house, but I'm also a lot more picky. than some
You got to
people
start
do.
somewhere.
You got to start somewhere, man. And any
Yeah.
progress is good progress. Like, don't
You
let
know,
me
Even
discourage
if you
anything.
just start slowly, like taking the top 3 things that cause toxicity in your life, like candles and fragrances, okay, and foods, and then what else would you think would be a third one? I don't know, medicines, I guess.
Maybe like
Yeah.
hygiene or home products.
Cleaning, yeah.
Yeah.
You can
And
make
like start out by getting rid of all your stinky candles and stinky fabric softeners. Start there, and then start next step. Stop drinking so much soda. Start replacing it with some sweet tea. Okay, next step. Okay, instead of eating 7 meals of meat a week, eat 6. Okay,
Yeah.
like you don't have to go 0. You know, like
Yeah,
just
Facts.
start somewhere, right?
facts. And
Yep.
that seems like a good time to segue into what healthy products can be made of and what kind of healthy products we can actually make ourselves, or how to make them even, and
Yeah.
like what some of the, we've covered a lot of like what these things do to you negatively. Maybe we could
Yeah.
talk about what some of the things in these products do positively for our body, so that people can have an idea of what they should go for instead of what they shouldn't go for. Because I know that I
Yeah.
got overwhelmed at one point of like, everything is poison, I can have nothing. So don't
Yes.
feel like that. There's
Oh,
stuff we can have.
It's so true.
But
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Good point.
That's so true. I feel like maybe Jade should take lead on this segment.
I was gonna say, what you got in your products, Jade?
So I'll start off because we were just the last thing we were talking about
Master
was
over there.
the way you can clean your countertops, your mirrors, literally everything in your house is just, you get some vinegar and some water. You do the was it like 3 to 1 or something like that, 2 to 1 or something like that.
More water than vinegar.
Yeah, more water than
A
vinegar.
lot more water than vinegar.
And then you can take some lemon peels, and you have an antibacterial and an antifungal spray for like, and it's antiviral. You spray it on anything, mirrors and stuff, and it won't leave like a streaks or a shine, and it smells like vinegar, and you know what I mean, but it cleans everything pretty well.
Great.
So, and then we dip into like self-care products. So like let's see, example, face wash. My face wash has let's see here. Let's go here.
Well, while you look for your information, I'll add a 10-second clip in here with the vinegar. I love doing vinegar cleaning, and I use half dish soap. I don't use Dawn. I used to a long time ago. I use Melaleuca now, but half soap and half vinegar. That works really good on almost every surface.
Yes.
Yes, for sure. So, my face wash ingredients consist of organic soap nut powder, food grade calcium bentonite clay, organic white rice flour, Arm & Hammer baking soda, organic distilled white vinegar, organic jojoba oil, and purified water. So when we So the soap nut powder can be used for quite a number of things. Back in the day, they used to take soap nuts, the actual nuts of them, and put them in a sack, and they would put it with their wash, and they would wash their laundry with it because it would become up and it would start foaming up, and it would wash their clothes. So it can be used as a shampoo to reduce dandruff, to add shine. As a cleanse it's a very good cleaner for sensitive skin. It's not harsh and like minty. It's more of you can't feel it really.
Very gentle.
It's very, very gentle. And it does create a little bit of a lather based on how much you use. So like if you use more, you're going to get more of a bigger lather. If you use less, you're not going to get a lather, more of like a tea for it. Can be used in laundry as a natural detergent, like I said. It's very good for cleaning a lot of things. Soap nut comes from the soap nut tree, soapberry tree. They're typically about 50 feet tall. They produce these golden orange berries that ripen in the fall, and they create a soapy lather. So the tree, like the bark, the leaves, the soap berries, the nuts, everything about the soap nut tree creates a soapy lather to help clean. And I chose it because it's a tree and rather than a flower or something. It's very good at detoxifying fruits and vegetables as well. You can clean your food with it.
Or the pesticide wall.
Nice. That's really cool.
That's really cool.
And then the calcium bentonite clay is very, very good at absorbing oils and just detoxification of your hair and body and face and skin pores. With my face mask, it just consists of the clay and water and some tea tree essential oil. The clay itself, when it dries on your face, it pulls stuff out of your pores and then closes your pores together. Like it shoves it pretty tight. And then,
that's cool.
If you use it too much, though, it can create like a dry spots on your face and stuff. So you gotta use the negative with the positive. Always be using a little.
Right. That's cool, though. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I use I just made a little mask. Speaking of masks, for myself, with essential oils and that bentonite clay, and that was for my underarms and my lymphatic system, actually. So that's really awesome. I love your ingredients; they're so good, super clean, super good for you too.
The rice flour is more for
Some outcast right now. And
an exfoliant. It's more of to get up in those pores and scrub that dirt off. But it does also have a lot of antioxidants and like potassium and magnesium and stuff in it that your skin does absorb from it, which is really good for your scalp and skin. So we dip into the baking soda. So
let me say, would you say, let's pretend I'm a person listening right now and I use Head and Shoulders and I want to try your product. It would be helpful, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. It actually would be very beneficial and helpful for your dandruff, especially with the conditioner bars themselves, because they have all these set ingredients except for the vinegar, of course, because
Yeah.
a vinegar is more of for the liquid soaps. So the bar itself is hard. Let me get one out.
I suppose the
Yeah.
vinegar would act as like it pierces the pores of the hair, right? It helps the soap go into it to wash it up, I suppose.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So there's a little bit of science behind the bar and the shampoo. So the bar itself, I'll show you, looks like a regular,
Cool.
like a regular bar. I'll break it.
Don't do
And
that.
it just show like how it's made. It's more of like a consistency, or is the camera? That's like dirt, I would say. More of a dirt.
Interesting.
But it's sticky because it has the butters and the oils in it to help with your hair and your scalp. So with the vinegar and the baking soda reacts together, right? And it turns into salt water, right? And salt water is very, very, very good for your hair and skin. Because of the magnesium and
I love that. That's so great.
Yes.
I love that you bring that up too, because like I used to think that the point of all of it was to get all the oil off you, off your skin, off your hair, oil free,
Mm-hmm.
And I just recently, a few years ago, realized, maybe 8 or 9 years ago, whatever, that no, that's not the case at all. You need to get the right oils to get your pH the right way, and it'll stop the oil production, the overproduction, and it'll stop the pimples and all this stuff.
Absolutely.
And I
Oh, yeah.
recently want that oil
Don't
production.
forget seed oils too in food.
Yeah,
Seed oils.
Yeah, seed oils are very bad.
Yeah.
They're all bleached. In my opinion, I don't know if that's fact or not.
They
but
are. They are. Well, there's some like what was it? It was it wasn't sunflower oil. I think it was safflower oil or something like that. There's specific ones that if you're buying from organic brands, they sometimes are not made with the bleaching process. Sometimes it's a cold press that they get it from. So the only way that I found to make sure that that's what you're getting is if you go and look it up and ask it how the oil was made. Because generally you're going to get an answer on how it was made. And if you don't get an answer, that's probably a good indicator that you shouldn't buy it, in my personal opinion.
Well,
transparency is everything.
Yep. I used to buy a CBD oil
Yeah.
that was actually made into a concentrate and then diluted with safflower and sunflower oil, both high in omega-9s, which cause inflammation, which is the exact opposite of what CBD does.
Yeah, that's wild, actually.
Yeah.
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 Cannabinoids too are a big part of the THC too.
Yeah.
Cannabinoids are pretty amazing in itself as well.
Considering that RSO itself has the potential to cure cancer.
It does.
Yeah.
52 grams of it typically is what you need. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Absolutely. I know that Tommy Chong, I think it was Tommy Chong, he had prostate cancer and he took a gram of RSO every day as a suppository, and that cured his prostate cancer.
Yep.
So
sure did.
And
that's
also,
why he came up with that formula he has. It's not an oil-based formula. It's been molecularly made smaller to be into like water. It's a spray.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I did not,
because
I
it
didn't.
helps if you have a compromised liver with reducing
Wow.
the oil.
Ah, that's genius, actually, which makes a
Yeah,
lot of sense because most most diseases start because your liver is compromised anyway, because that's your filtration system for your body.
right. Yep.
Yeah, if your liver gets out of whack, everything gets out of whack.
Yeah, and I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe that's why he made it, was because he went through that journey, you know?
That would make a lot of
All right.
sense. It
All
really
right, guys.
would.
All right. All right. So I want to bring up something. I want to bring up something.
Cool.
We're gonna get pretty deep on metaphysics now,
Sweet.
and we're gonna talk about our electromagnetic human body. So it's kind of like encompasses these things are happening, and I'm gonna start with just breaking down the human being. So like the human being is a multi-layered or multi-bodied being, so to say, of light. And as a multi-bodied being of light, we have this aura, and this aura contains different energy bodies or layers, as we call it, body, physical, and all these different aspects of ourselves as well. And then we have the light body. Now, the light body is something that is very fascinating. The light body is our electromagnetic system of our human being, and it's also our blueprint system. It's the coding that connects our DNA to our light codes. So DNA ties in with all this as well. Our DNA is what carries our light from our higher self into our human body. So if our human body does not have the DNA active and healthy to then translate the light from our higher self into our physical avatar, then we're not able to function as a conscious being. So with that being said, the light body is where the chakra system is. It is where our meridians are as well. And it's also the electrical impulse system that runs our nervous system, that runs our bloodstream, that runs the chemicals in our body. The chakras are what govern and also create our physical organs as well as glands in our body. You can study different chakras that correlate to different organs and glands in our physical body for wellness and health purposes. So with all this being said, these beings that are placing these negative and manipulative systems in place, they're well aware that we are these multidimensional spiritual beings of light. And with that knowledge, they want to make sure that we're not able to actually align and attune our mind, body, spirit as a triune being. And with that, we then are out of attune with our natural harmony to the connection to the earth, to the connection of the above, if you want to call it the heavens, or you want to call it the astral. When our DNA is damaged and when our chakras are blocked and our meridian centers are clogged up, our chi, our consciousness is not able to flow through that electromagnetic system. And that electromagnetic system is what also gives us the ability to manifest. It is the ability to generate wealth, and it is also the ability to create and have creative energy in your daily life as well. So with all that being said, you learn a little bit more about the history of this planet. You learn about the history of even this galaxy that we're in. And you learn that this has actually been going on for way longer than this planet. There's beings that have been doing these kind of things for a long time and have came to this earth and have decided to do it here as well. And when you really learn about this knowledge, and this is where knowledge truly is power, is you get to really see all the dots connect and why everything is happening and how it's happening. And you learn about these different aspects of ourselves and, what happens if we do activate them and, why they are resisting us from activating them. You learn that you are far more than you've been told in this life. And what you've been told in school through the indoctrination system and through the things that they are teaching you guys. And I got to say, it's pretty incredible when you learn about the light body. You also learn that the light body is connected to what they call the Mother Sophia. The Sophia is the divine mother wisdom that connects and flows through all of creation, so to say. And not just that, but it is also our divine feminine aspect of ourself. So when that Sophia body or the light body is damaged, then it is hard for us to feel the wisdom of the spirit, or to have the creative ability and the energy to be able to be yourself and be what is authentic to you with the creator or source, so to say.
Yeah.
And it's super key. It also ties in with the organs. Inside the organs, you have chemicals, and these chemicals are actually crystals. They're crystalline. And these chemicals are also in your brain as well. You know, the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, these are crystals, and they vibrate with the harmonics of the planetary earth because it comes from the earth. So that is why the animals are so in tune still with the earth, because these animals have all of these crystal plates still active throughout their glands and through their centers, that they can feel the vibrations of the earth speak to them when it's time to go somewhere else, or when it's time to take the herd into a different hemisphere. Things of that nature are very natural for us, and as humans, we actually have this as well, but we have just had them, you know, poisoned, attacked, belittled, and other things of that nature. So that kind of leads me also to talking about, you know, fluoride. Fluoride is one of the biggest ones that damages these crystal compounds inside of us. And pineal gland, it calcifies it. What does that mean? That means it basically dries it out from its chemicals, and then it hardens it so that it can no longer produce the dopamine, serotonin, melatonin, melanin, all those beautiful chemicals that give you life through your being are then being taken away, absorbed by the metals and chemicals and the fluoride, and then it's also poisoning and damaging it as well. So then when your pineal gland isn't radiating that third eye energy, which connects you to your intuition, connects you to your psychic senses, which is just your light senses beyond your physical nature, then you're going to be susceptible to mind control, as well as other things like different forms of planetary enslavement. And that just is what it is. So, you know, getting that decalcification of the pineal gland, cutting out the fluoride is super huge. And one of the biggest things for me has been transitioning into making my own shungite water at home, to make my own water system.
Yeah, I'd like to piggyback on that and say that fluoride itself is a byproduct of aluminum.
Yep.
They gave it a fancy name to separate it from what it actually is. But what it is it's a byproduct of aluminum production, which is just little salts, little ADB specks of aluminum. And they call that aluminum fluoride. And I guess there's a couple different kinds of it, but they're all derived from aluminum or some sort of heavy metal. So if they discovered that aluminum can calcify your pineal gland and it can disconnect you from your true state of being, from the source consciousness, then might as well put it in the toothpaste, might as well put it in the water, might as well put it in the food, might as well put it anywhere and everywhere that we can put it, that people would ingest it to help it get to that point. And so I agree that cutting out anything that has to do with fluoride is crucial, because those heavy metals, they block your crystalline infrastructure and your crystalline pathways, like you said, for those to be able to function properly, which completely limits how you're able to manifest, how you're able to process life, how you're able to show up as yourself and everything else. And becoming aware of what they have put it in and how their methods of delivering it into our bodies have become is one of the most crucial forms of getting away from it, because if you don't know what it's in, you can't fix it.
Yes. Let me share something with you guys. This is warfare. I'm just going to be straight up honest right now on this podcast. And for everybody out there, this is warfare, what they're doing. I mean, they're doing things where they're putting things inside of us, like these metals and toxins. But then at the same time, while they're doing that parallel, they're also hitting us from the outside. They're trying to cook us like a microwave with radio waves of all sorts, finely tuned, off-kilter frequencies through radios. And what happens is, as an energy and vibrational being, we're like these tuning forks, and then you have all these metals and toxins vibrating inside of you in your bloodstream and through your being. You then become susceptible to attract to that frequency, because you're a magnetic being automatically. So then your aura just starts absorbing things that match the frequencies of all those artificials and metals and toxins. And then you have the radio waves that are also magnetizing to those frequencies. And it's just creating absorption of their false narratives, their propaganda, their brainwashing, everything that you can think of. I mean, think about the music industry today, especially the rap industry. Like, it became to a point where, you know, they infiltrated it. It's tied to the prison system now. It's a public fact that it is. And it's known that they use really off frequencies from our natural harmony through these radios. And it's a common fact nowadays. So you think about that, you know, you think about what they're putting inside of us. It's a mixture that they're really like disorienting people with.
Very much
well,
so.
Yeah, Marcus, music itself has changed. I don't forget what year the music system itself was changed, but they went from 432 hertz to 440 hertz. And that in itself is disheartening, you know, unsettling, you know.
Sometime in the mid 90s, I think it was the mid 90s time.
I think 1939, right around there. It was around World War II.
Yeah.
Is whenever it happened. And that's also about the time where there's a lot of stuff that happened around that time. I don't want to go too far into it because
the 30s
that's another few hour long conversation right there. But the people and the powers that be, the central banking system families and whatnot, the Rockefellers and all those people, they definitely weaponize music. And it's become something that, as a musician, is despicable, because music is a connection to God, in my personal opinion. It's the closest thing that we can get to divinity. And they've taken that, they've turned it into something that is based solely upon sex, drugs, violence, and self-preservation and self-interest. And those ideas that they pump into the music reflects in the people that listen to it, because they become greedy, they become cheaters, they become liars, and it's stuff that you don't even realize is happening to you until way later down the road, when you take a look back at what you've done and what you said and everything else, and you're like, oh wow, I was manipulated to some degree. And even with, I mean, there's so much stuff that plays into somebody's mental health whenever it comes to like hormone production, stuff like that. But what we don't realize is that what we're consuming, whether it be media or music or something like that, that has an effect on the hormones that are being produced. So if you're listening to stuff that is about violence, that's about sex, that's about money, it produces certain chemical reactions within your bodies and produces certain hormones, whether it be cortisol or dopamine or whatever, you get a hit from it. And you keep seeking that over and over again, because
I think on top of what you're saying, to add into that, subconsciously, you know, think about like the 80s, everyone had a broken heart. Everyone was
Some
cheating
pure
on everybody.
programming for
Yeah,
sure.
90s, everyone was like, oh, all apologies. Yeah, Alice in Chains. You know, subconsciously, what is that saying? I love all that music. I'm just saying, like, you know, like
Yeah.
there's hidden messages behind all this as well that you're so right about, you know.
Absolutely. And with the way that mantras work, these lyrics become mantras and they become things that play over and over and over and over and over
Yep.
again in your brain. And if you're consistently telling yourself something or thinking something, eventually your reality starts to reflect that.
Yep.
Because all is mind. And if you're listening to stuff that's making you sad, that's making you heartbroken, that's making you more money driven, like it's going to reflect in your personality and your reality. And yeah, that's definitely part of the weaponization there is it does become a form of mind control in its own way.
Just think about these songs. You know, how they're like, let's do old school, OPP, other people's what? Right? Everyone loved that song. Oh, let's talk about cheating. Oh, okay. Wasn't me, you know? What, Shaggy? Okay, let's talk about him. Let's talk about, you know, all these different low-key things. Like you said, they just slow play in the background as background music, and they just keep programming that program to instill it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. To even take it a step further, like we've got audio with music, but we've got visual with movies and stuff like that. And
yeah,
that's a huge one right there because music really goes hand in hand with movies so much. If anybody ever watched a movie without music, it'd be the most boring thing in the world. You don't realize it, but it would be. But music is meant to manipulate your emotions in a movie, whereas like what you're seeing, well, actually the music tunes you into it, whereas what you're seeing manipulates your endocrine system and your hormonal system, specifically with things that are like more violent and stressful and whatnot. Your body can't recognize the difference between somebody being attacked on a screen and you being attacked in person.
Yeah.
Like your consciousness cannot physically distinguish those two. So your body reacts as though it's happening to you in the real time when it's not. So that's training your nervous system to be out of whack and dysregulated. Exactly, consistently. And that's what the goal of it is to keep you dysregulated and then
I think it's called predictive programming, right?
Absolutely, 100%. 100%.
Predictive programming, yep.
Conditioning as well. Tying it back into the frequency thing. Actually, I want to do a double take on this real quick on both ends of the spectrum. With a TV, the blueprint of it, the patent of it, it literally shows these frequencies coming out of the TV that come from the top, the bottom, and all around, and these frequencies encompass you and they snap your attention to it. And so there's frequency manipulation that happens there, because even if the TV is off, it has a frequency while it's plugged in. It has a hum to it that most people can't hear unless you notice it. Once you notice it, it never goes away. But once you turn it on, there's something that happens with the frequencies that, like, your attention just kind of draws to it. And that's by design, very much by design. But on the other end of the spectrum, this is the important part. I've learned that, like you said, that it was. I don't know if all music was tuned to 432. I don't think there was a global tuning until like 1939. Everybody was kind of in their own thing. But there are certain frequencies that we can tune our music to, that we can tune tuning forks to, the singing bowls and everything else, that if you tune them to like 432 hertz or 440 hertz or 528 hertz, 969, 369, so on and so forth, these are what are called solfeggio frequencies. And the solfeggio frequencies interact with your body on a medicinal level. They regulate your system. They put your body back in check. They put your chakras back in alignment. They allow you to get into a creative flow state to where you can create and to be more of yourself again. And just like they can manipulate our nervous system with frequencies in a negative way, we can hijack our system with frequencies in a positive way too.
Yes.
Yes. That's a good point.
Yes. To all the things we share today, there's hope, right? No matter which way you look at it.
Yes.
The solfeggio scale.
Absolutely. They're actually coming out with these things called med beds now.
Yeah, if you guys look up solfeggio scale, you guys can read in depth science.
So what? What'd you say?
I was just saying the solfeggio scale.
Yes. Yeah. The med beds are really cool because they utilize those solfeggio frequencies. It's basically like a bed that you lay on that has like it's got like quartz and like ozone and like all these other things that are kind of like integrated in with it, and it produces frequencies that realign your body and put your body back into a state of harmony. So we're starting to medically head in ways where actually the song that you played to open the portal that I wrote, at the beginning of it, there's a quote from a Gaia episode where I think it was what's his name? I can't remember his name right now, but he says that the future of medicine is that of frequency and vibration. And it's very true. We're heading in a direction where sound will be the main healer, because everything is frequency and vibration in this reality. Everything is music. That's why they call it a universe, one big song. And if we all can tune into the right frequencies and expose ourselves to the right frequencies, we can reharmonize not only with ourselves, but with each other and with the planet. And yeah, everything gets a little bit better from there. Music is medicine, 100%.
Absolutely. Especially your music, that's for sure.
So is knowledge.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, knowledge is one of the things that can lead you to the frequencies. It can lead you to the healthy foods. It can lead you to gardening. It can lead you to doing more exercise. I think one of the most powerful things and most potent things we as humans have is our ability to change our perspective and our lifestyle based upon new information that's provided to us. Our adaptability and our I think that right there is an incredible thing, that once we realize that we have the power to shift in that direction, not only individually but on a collectively conscious level, then I see a lot of hope in the world for sure. It's just a matter of us realizing our potential and actually acting on the potential, because knowledge is nothing without action.
Yeah.
You can know all the things all day long, but if you don't put it to good use, it's worthless.
Gotta integrate.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I wanted to share something. I guess we can kind of begin to close out a little bit since we've been flowing. So I wanted to share something on a biological level again with our physical human body, and that's our cells. Our cells, they have these membranes and they have this wall system and everything, and our cells are mainly here to help, provide the electrical charge, the electrical impulse that gives us life. And through that electrical impulse, it is where our information gets stored and then gets spread throughout our being to be in a informed, conscious, healthy, and harmonic state. So with that being said, and you guys can also look on YouTube and find videos. I found a wonderful whiteboard demonstration from a professor who was showing the structure of the cell, and then he was showing what happens whenever we have certain ingredients or certain oils or certain fats that go into the wall of the cell, and how it can start to break down that barrier. And when that barrier gets broken down, then that's when it gets infected, and then it starts to create a cancer cell, and then this creates disease. So when you think about that from a very general standpoint of just simple science of the human anatomy and biology, when you think about what you're doing to your cells, are you giving your cells things that are going to give it nutrients and things that will give it electrical upliftment? Or are you giving it things that are going to make it sludgy, make it digress in its speed? Are you going to be contaminating it with things that are going to harm it and damage it? And those are really easy things to kind of think about when making it simple for if you should or should not be taking that thing into the consumption of your being. And then on top of that, you also think about how, we are these organic human bodies, as in these human bodies are made up of the earth. Vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients that are from the earth make up our human being. So with that being said, if we are the vibration of the earth and we want to be able to heal something within us, does it really make sense to put something artificial or synthetic or of a very low vibration into our system that doesn't even match the frequency of the earth or the organic frequency that we are? And when you think about that, it's like, you think of the example like a bridge. So you have a steel bridge and you want to repair that bridge. Do you use plastic to repair a steel bridge? Or do you use something of steel quality or higher in order to repair and heal that bridge? So you can think of that as the same way for your whole entire being and body. Do you repair the body with the vitamins, minerals, and compounds from the earth that are natural like your body? Or do you do it with something that is made from chemicals in a lab that have toxic and hazardous effects? And they even tell you all over their commercials and ads that there's 30 different effects for taking this pharmaceutical. But, you take some psilocybin, you take some marijuana, there's like no negative side effects. No, there's no recorded deaths. Wow, what's going on, guys?
A lot.
Man.
Yeah. And to piggyback on that,
makes sense, right?
Yeah, for real. To piggyback on that, food is something that could be looked at as information for your body. And that's how I look at it anyway. And fruits and fruits in particular are very high vibrational, very high electricity, very high electrolyte type things that whenever you consume them, they not only make your body lighter, but not necessarily lighter, they can help you gain weight and stuff too, for all the people out there. But what it does is it improves your electrical conductivity within your body, because you're getting the electrolytes that you need to help your body electrically perform correctly. Whenever it comes to animal products and stuff like that, it's generally viewed as dead information for your body because it's dead. The same with a good amount of cooked food. The reason we eat out of an Instant Pot if we eat cooked food is because the nutrients are preserved in the water that it's cooked in. And it actually helps increase some of the nutrients and decreases some of the anti-nutrients that would prevent your absorption and helps your body absorb those nutrients and minerals that help your body be electrical. So avoiding food that is dead information is a good move. Not expecting everybody to cut out like animal products and stuff like that out of their diet, but looking at whether you're putting alive information that's going to help your body being the electrical conductor that it should be to help it function as it should, or are you giving it dead information that will sustain your body but not necessarily help it perform to its best ability, you know?
I had a naturopath tell me to remember, easy way to remember is to help your life eat live foods because it has the enzymes we need. Like you're saying, other processed foods and I do eat some meats from time to time. I'll be honest, but yeah, don't fill yourself full of them. I mean, you know, they're also unfortunately dead, and so they also would not have life in them.
Yeah, I definitely see where like animal products have their place and time and everything. I personally have avoided them for the better part of 8 years now, just because of learning what happens with the meat industry and everything else, and ethical and health reasons at the same time. But primarily over the last few years, it's been because I want to introduce things to my body that are alive, that help your body thrive. And as long as that's your bigger portion of your diet, I would say you're likely going to be okay. I would advise caution on consuming a lot of things, and just trying to pick out the cleanest things that will help your body perform the way that it should. Moderation is a great thing, and then questioning what we're supporting and what happens when we give these places our money that we're supporting. What are they doing with our money, and you know, what are they supporting? So like I said, it's a very closed loop system that we have here where everything is connected, and making sure that we're making decisions that are best for not only the here and now, but also the many years down the line and generations down the line is something that we fail to think about in this day and age, because everything is so based upon instant gratification. And whenever you take the instant gratification part of it out, then you have to learn patience, and you have to learn patience is a big one, man, because nothing happens overnight that's good, you know. Things take time, and good health takes time. Rebuilding your body takes time. Getting back to a better state of being takes time. Everything can take time, and it takes patience to get there. So being patient with yourself, being patient with the process, and giving yourself grace is huge. And just trying to make sure that, like, whenever you make a decision, ask yourself, is this for the higher good of myself, my children, and the environment? And if not, is it worth it?
Yep.
I agree.
Mic drop.
A lot of information today, friends.
A whole lot, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was a lot of information, and I think if somebody's really interested to do this, I think the first 3 things I would start with would be deodorant, toothpaste, and maybe your water supply. You know,
Yeah.
water.
And then if you want to do 5, I would add 2 more. I would do your
Yeah.
laundry soap and then your shower soap, or something like that. Just to start out.
Yeah. And with water,
Yeah.
getting a shower filter, huge.
Oh, yeah.
Huge.
Agreed.
Huge. Because
Big
yeah,
difference.
we talked about the fluoride being in the water, and if your skin is the biggest organ that absorbs things,
Mm-hmm.
and if hot water, which most people shower with, opens up your pores so that you can
Yep.
absorb things, a lot of people are absorbing aluminum, and if you get a shower filter, they can help filter out the aluminum and the chlorine and pharmaceuticals and everything else that runs through there. Your hair, skin, and nails will start to improve within a week.
Mhm.
I
Yep.
guarantee, 100%, hands down, uncontested. It's
I
huge.
agree with you. It makes a big difference on if you have flakiness in your scalp, or if you have flakiness here around your nose, or
Yes,
oily and dry skin, it'll help even that out.
You guys can
absolutely.
get the shower heads that have the organite beads in it.
Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
Nice. I don't know if I've seen those, but that would be a cool addition to the water filter. We personally use the Aqua Bliss water filter. It was the best one that I found at the time a few years back. There might be a better one now. I don't know. I know that it is at least an 8-stage filter, and it's good for getting out the chlorine and most of the fluoride and a lot of the other bacteria and contaminants and stuff that are in the water that flows through our pipes.
What was the name of that again?
Aqua Bliss.
Aqua Bliss. Okay.
Aqua
So
Bliss.
it's time for us to replace
Let's
ours.
look
I'm like,
up-
well,
Yeah,
all together.
the real
All together,
solution is if you own your house, get like a RO filter system or something like that. But not everyone can afford like $5,000 to redo your whole water system in your house, which I have never been able to do. So small little steps like in introducing a shower filter, or maybe even a faucet filter on your sink, on your dishes or something like that. We haven't done that yet, but we use like filtered water to rinse off our dishes and stuff after we use that water. But water is huge, and I agree that like the deodorant and
Oh, yeah.
hygiene products and your detergents and stuff like that, those are definitely among the top 5 to go for if you're looking to make some immediate changes in your life.
Definitely. I would say food too. Food too, for sure.
Yeah, I do have to agree. I would say the 3 things that I would change first would be the shower filter, switching to drinking only purified water, and possibly a deodorant or a toothpaste.
mm,
Yeah.
Those are great everyday starting points, I feel like, for all ages and really anybody. And I know we didn't really touch on it too much, maybe we will in like the next episode, but I want to touch a little bit more on next time, children propaganda and the way that they've been putting these kind of ingredients and chemicals in our children's production. Oh my gosh, man. It's like, it's hitting me already. I don't want to get started. It's so messed up.
Another 3 hours.
They use
Here we
these
go.
they use these cartoon characters to try to hypnotize these kids into poison. Like, I'm not even like exaggerating. Like, that's so messed up.
Yeah. I mean, even right now, the kids here got a couple Christmas presents of like these Crayola toothbrushes that are like all colorful and like got these characters and stuff on them that are very appealing to children. And not to dive too deep, but even going into a store, there's a psychological aspect of it where you get up by the register and at face height or chest height for a child is all this candy.
Yep.
And it's by design. It's because they know you're about to get out of the store, and the children are right there on that height level with it, and that's going to be what they ask for whenever you're trying to get out of the store, if you haven't already got that stuff, right? It's the last stop. It's very well calculated, and it's very much psychological warfare whenever it comes to getting your kids to go after the toxic things. Very much so. And yeah, that's like a whole 3-hour long conversation of its own.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
boy.
That one is
Sarah.
huge.
Sarah, before we hop off of here, I know you've successfully made a antidote for your son one time that helped with his neurological system. Do you want to share a little bit about that real quick?
Yeah. Gosh, the more I think about it, the more things I'd add to my top list, but you gotta start somewhere. So I guess another thing to do, if you're interested, would be change up the medicinals that you use. My child has a diagnosis of ADHD, and most of the medications that are prescribed to children are Adderall and methylprenidate. Those are the two highest prescribed medications for children with that condition. And I think ADHD, like we talked about way earlier, is 1 in 8 right now. So it's not just children. I mean, it's people, So a lot of adults are also on prescription speed, basically.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of upcoming and valid research out there that give natural herbal solutions for these type of things. That actually have years and years of study, just not here in America. In places like India and other countries where big pharma has not purchased them, like for example, with ADHD. I don't know what that noise is. Anyway, saffron. Okay, good. I was like, is that me? Saffron has been equally compared to in double-blind placebo studies. I could give you the link, and we can cite it in the sources here if you'd like, in the comments. But double-blind placebo studies, peer-reviewed, they found that saffron works equally as well as these two prescribed medications for just ADHD, for example. And there is no side effects. There's no loss of appetite. There's no staying awake at night. There's no numbness of personality. There's things that work for anxiety, like lemon balm and passion flower combination. Those two work great. There's things like California poppy that could replace Valium. There's things like chamomile that are very common that are good for stomach issues and or mental health issues to reduce anxiety. And there's also things that help stabilize brain chemicals. Whether you're talking about norepinephrine, dopamine, all different types of things. There is a solution for every single thing that we've been told is, quote, incurable, and this needs to be managed with medications, I know that these are effective simply because I've used them with my child, and I did a detoxification program, which was clonoptopolite zeolite, which is minerals that take away metals. At the same time, I combined that with herbs, and I did make an ADHD syrup that I can give the exact ingredients, but one of the main ingredients was that saffron that I mentioned. So yeah, there's a lot of really great, effective, not super expensive, truly effective medicines you can use that are herbal that do the same things that these pharmaceutical companies say that they're the only ones that can cure do. So if you're a parent out there listening to this, just know there is options.
There are essential oil options to treat for ADHD as well. Give me 1 second. I gotta find the book.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, ashwagandha is fantastic for that kind of stuff too, whether it be like stress or ADHD or anything like that, since it's an adaptogen that helps your body deal with like incoming stress levels and regulates your cortisol levels and stuff too.
Yeah.
And I wasn't aware of saffron. That's actually really, really cool.
Oh,
I'll have to
yeah,
look
it's
into
great
that
stuff.
one.
So this
They
book-
even sell gummies nowadays for kids that have the saffron in them.
Good to
They're
know.
already made already, you know.
That's good to know, actually, yeah.
This is
I could come up with the recipe I use myself and post it in the comments later, you know.
So this book has ADHD, a little thing. I don't know if you can see that very well. I might have to add a picture into the comments. But I'll read it. It says that you can use essential oils called Reconnect, In Touch, Lavender, Citrus Fresh, Ruta Velilla, Tranquil, and Lithium. You can apply it to your feet or spine, or you can diffuse. So, like a blend idea would be a lavender with a basil on the crown, or harmony or peace and calming with basil and clarity, and frankincense on with Belier. Can add all of these to the bottoms of the feet or the spine, and it will help with your ADHD and ADD. Can also provides supplements like trace minerals, amino acids, essential fatty acids, omega blue, absolutely necessary. So like omega guys, Allerton. Adds digestion and sugars and starches, fatty acids, proteins, digest and cleanse, mineral cleanse. So it helps with focus and calming of the ADHD mind, because that's mainly what ADHD is. The mind is running at 1,000,000 miles per hour, and you have all these different things or conversations in your head, or things you have to do. Say like a task list. Say like, I'm doing the dishes and the laundry needs done, and I also need to take the trash out, but I also need to pick up the kids' toys. But as an ADHD person, I'm doing all of those at once, unless I have coping mechanisms and or essential oils to help calm myself down so I can complete one task and move on to the next. Because it's hard for my mind to do that because of how it's wired. I can add this book to the comment if people want to get it. It is very, very interesting. In the back here, it consists of where they found all of this stuff. So the research that they did, they included it. I had found a really cool thing, a research reference that they had did. Let me skim real quick. Be the last thing I talk about. I'm pretty sure it's cumin oil. Yeah, cumin oil. They used, where was it? There. It's right here. With mice. I'll have to find it later or something. But they used cumin oil, and I forget what drug they ingested the mice with, but they added the cumin oil before they ingested the mice. They gave it to them to eat, per se, and it made them digest the drug way faster than it would be if they just had the drug in their system. And then they tried giving them the drug and then the cumin oil, and it went way faster. It like their bodies digested it and like got rid of it way faster. I forget what it was. I think it was morphine. I think it was morphine.
Yeah, something as simple as turmeric, which is what you're talking about, I think. Right?
Yeah.
It helps brain inflammation, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the curcumin in it, the compound, the cell compound in it, and especially if it's paired with black pepper and cayenne too, that increases their bioavailability and their absorption rate and their
like by
effectiveness.
3,000% or something like that.
Yeah, by a lot, significantly.
Yeah. All right, friends. I gotta go to the girls' room pretty soon.
I go to the girls' room. Yeah, we can wrap it up now, guys, if you want. It's going on for 3 hours.
That's a solid podcast right there.
Oh yeah,
just 3 hours. That's all.
So much to talk about. Such a huge topic.
Oh yeah.
But honestly, like this topic in itself, it needed this kind of justice. Exactly.
Yeah.
It was well deserved, that's for sure.
Agreed.
So with that being said, as we close out, if everybody would like to just kind of take a moment and let everybody know where they can find you and what they can find you for. And if Sarah, you want to start, feel free to let people know where they can find you online.
You can find me in my house.
What it is that you offer.
You can find me in my house. No, that's where I'm at right now. I'm just kidding. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, under Shining Soul Healing and Wellness. You can find me there on Instagram or Facebook. And if you find me there, just send me a message. I'd be happy to chat with you about, anything that's on your mind, whether it be Reiki or quantum healing or natural living or herbs. I am certainly qualified to speak with you about all those topics. So if you're interested, again, just look me up under Shining Soul Healing and Wellness. Thank you.
Oh, my turn. My name is Jade, and you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. Find me under Jade's Wellness Trade. I produce organic homemade products for your skin, hair, face, etc. Eyes.
Yeah, my name is Evan Sturgeon, if you didn't catch that earlier. You can find me under Evan Sturgeon Music or under Sturge and Friends, which is spelled like this, STURG and Friends, and sturgeonfriendsmusic.org, or I got a link tree that you can find me on too. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, all that fun stuff. And of course, my personal page, Evan Sturgeon, which is a healthy mix of real world conspiracy stuff and health and music and everything else. So, yeah.
Nice.
Hey, Marcus.
Hey, nice. Yeah.
That's right. Sturgeon Friends on YouTube for everybody. Just go on YouTube, Sturgeon Friends. You guys will find this beautiful music. Open the portal. Oh man, if there's a will, there's a way. I mean, there's just so many good songs, man. Get started.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys. And for everybody out there, I'm Marcus Crystallite. I am the host of the Sacred Kingdom, also the Sacred Light Healing and Wellness as well. I share many different holistic and shamanic practices from Reiki, to light language, to chakra balancing, as well as also Akashic soul origin meditations to help you connect with your soul lineage and who you are beyond this physical human self. And along with that, I do life coaching. So I help people with patterns, habits, and developing healthier routines in their daily life, as well as their shadow work and what that looks like. So along with that, I also host retreats as well, all over the country, soon to be around the world. And Evan and Jade actually, they've been a part of these retreats as well. And we're going to continue to build more as we continue to go. So you guys have opportunities to be with us in person, experience the variety of medicines that we have to offer, as well as self-empower yourself and really take on some good knowledge in person with us, hands-on, and really get to develop those human connections. So along with that, I also am a producer and a content creator. So I produce our podcasts and shows. I also produce for others around the country as well. And I also have many different productions of my own. So if you guys ever want productions, if you want content creating, things of that nature, such as podcasts, I'm here to help always. That's for sure. And I also got to say too, I want to leave you guys with this example when it comes to this topic, which is knowing ingredients. So I had this experience with my dad, and my dad had a brain hemorrhage last year. So he nearly passed away from a brain hemorrhage. And during this journey, since he had this accident, I have been the person that's been his guardian the whole time. And I've been the one that's actually nurtured him and gave him the correct things to be able to get him to where he is today now, where he's able to live at home by himself and be able to function as a human on his own again. And it's been pretty fascinating. One thing I just want to share as we close out is about ingredients. A prime example was my dad was taking in nutrition, and this nutrition formula that they were giving him, it was something that he was receiving through a stomach tube feed because he was not able to swallow properly. So this nutrition, it had corn syrup solids, it had high fructose, it had dairy whey isolate.
Yeah.
And those three ingredients just in itself, if you Google it, causes inflammation and severe mucus. So with that being said, I was seeing my dad inflamed, and he had tremendous amounts of mucus that he was always throwing up out of his mouth as he would go on at home after he got discharged from the hospital. So I called the doctor and I told the doctor that a couple of these ingredients cause these things from my research on Google and from the knowledge that I had. And the doctor told me that he didn't have a education in nutrition. So he had to ask a nutritionist before consulting with me about changing his formula. So then he asked the nutritionist. I spoke with the nutritionist, and the nutritionist was on the same page as me. And it was like blatantly obvious what I was changing his formula for. So I got him changed over to plant-based. And once he was changed over to plant-based, all of a sudden he was not getting inflamed. All of a sudden his mucus was decreasing. And now at this point today, he doesn't have any mucus. So that's just an easy prime example of ingredients in your food and what you're consuming. Are they mucus causing, inflammation, or are they not known for any side effects? Like, think about it, guys. Like, foods that don't have known side effects, foods and medicines that have known side effects. I mean, which one is really the alternative? Which one is really the one to be worried about? I'm going to leave you guys with that as we close out this episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to quickly piggyback on that, there is no in between
Wow.
with food. Either feeds disease
Thank
or
you guys
cures.
all for joining. Jade, Evan.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having us.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I don't know why it's so delayed.
Oh, word. I was saying that food either creates disease or it cures disease. There's no in between with it. It's one or the other. It is black and white, and it's your choice.
Well said.
That is one of the only
Well
things that's not a gray area. It's black or white. Either feeds or
For
cures
real.
disease. Yes. Yes. But yeah, thank you so much for having us, and thank you for providing the space for these conversations to happen, for these containers to be open, and hopefully what we talked about can help some people and maybe inspire some people to get healthy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. They sound the alarms on us, guys.
It's coming.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you guys for all joining us in this episode. And if you guys watched the replay, thank you as well. And if you guys have comments, if you have anything to add as well, please put your knowledge and wisdom in the comments as well. We're always open and we're always building together as a community. So just know that anytime we're sharing our voice, you guys can share your voice with us and we add it together and we just do it together and rise.
Oh.
That's right. So with that being said, everybody have a blessed and beautiful day and one love.
See ya.
As the year transforms and sacred light emerges, you're invited to begin 2026 with profound healing and renewal.
Flower agate.
Join Marcus Crystal Light and Sacred Light for our New Year's holistic retreat, December 31st through January 2nd, at the historic Apple Butter Inn in Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania. Experience transformative flow shops and ceremonies, including cacao rituals, gong baths, ecstatic dance, and crystal activation, guided by renowned practitioners Sadhanam Singh, Priestess Jessie, Kat, and Empress Donfaya. Shy Brown will provide live music for your journey. Rest in private rooms with memory foam mattresses, fireplaces, and modern amenities, while enjoying all vegan meals and conscious community connection. Choose your sacred experience. One day for $99, 2 full days and nights starting at $555, or 3 transformative days starting at $777. Register today at www.li.sten.to/sacred light retreats and step into your highest potential this new year.